sports fans, and welcome to the defining moment brought to you by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. What's going on, y'all? It's me, boy Larry, bringing it to you here on another beautiful Monday afternoon. It is July 8th, 2019, and we have ourselves a wild weekend to recap in sports, and yet another wild one to get ready for coming up this week. All right, y'all, so it's been 2 weeks, but my gosh, how much has happened in these last 2 weeks? Well, we're going to get into all that today, including how much has been going on with IE Sports Radio. Our website is officially up. We have a PR department. We're all over the place, y'all. So much to get into with that, as well as the world in sports. So, as for sports, oh my goodness. How about the USA team, y'all? The U.S. Women's National Team. They did it again. What a game, what a victory, 2-0 over the Netherlands. Netherlands certainly fought, but what a game that was. Back-to-back World Cups, 4th title, most ever in women's World Cup history. Incredible job to them. Also, we have some more teams to crown today as we look at the Copa America. Brazil gets it done, defeating Peru 3-1. What was a close game in the first half? Well, kind of gets turned into a typical Brazil type of game. 3-1, they get this thing done. First title, their ninth Copa America title, and their first since 2007. So they get it done. Samba is going down in Brazil today. Also in the Gold Cup, my gosh, what a victory this was for Mexico. Tough go for the USA, 1-0 in Soldier Field, but hey, congratulations, Mexico got it done. So big ups to Mexico. They pulled this thing off, 1-0. First Gold Cup since 2015. This is their 8th Gold Cup, and that is the Gold Cup record, y'all. So, they have most all time, and we will just continue it on here today in the auto sports world. A very controversial ending. Justin Haley gets his first ever victory in the Monster Energy Cup, but how controversial was it? We'll talk about that later on today with the reigns topics that some people feel could have been could have gone a different direction to a different driver. Also, in the NHRA, New England Nats leave it no more than to Steve Torrance and Matt Hagan. Those two men hoisting some Wallies this past week. A brief look at IndyCar and Formula One. Take a look at the College World Series. Yeah, it's been that long, y'all, 2 weeks. A little bit of NPF. The Bandits, the Pride, and the Wild are dominating the NPF. A crazy series between the Angels and Astros that resulted in one crazy game yesterday. Home run derby tonight, all-star game tomorrow. LeBron, Davis, and Cousins all to the Lakers. My. NBA Summer League, NWSL, MLS. Talk about a wild one in Atlanta versus the Red Bulls. IMSA, Mazda is on a rampage. Marc Marquez does it in Germany in MotoGP. In World Superbike, we have a 3-horse race now with a crazy ending in Great Britain. Wimbledon is absolutely nuts. And, we have quite the ending in UFC 239. John Jones does it yet again. Holly Holmes gets kicked in the face, and we have the most quickest ever, the fastest result of any UFC fight ever. History was made yesterday with another flying knee, so unfortunately there's been a lot of kicking in the head in this past week, but as you can see, that was even longer than the introduction, so got lots to get into today. And with that said, welcome to IE Sports Radio. Welcome to the defining moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. This is me, your boy Larry, bringing it to you today. My gosh, we have one heck of a show to get into, as well as a really cool interview today. Yesterday, I had a neat interview with my buddy, Mr. Mike Nola Sr., and it was awesome. He has such a cool league going on right now, only their second season down here in Southern California, but they're looking to branch out, and hey, I think it's a really neat idea. Could it be the future of a spinoff of professional football? We shall see. 7-on-7, y'all. SoCal 7. Today we'll be talking that with Mr. Mike Nolas around midway through the show, and then plenty more after that. But it'd be a really neat interview. Check it out, y'all. You don't want to miss this. Mike and I sat down yesterday, talked about an hour here, recorded a really cool interview, so you don't want to miss that. And big ups to him again. If you're listening, man, big shout out to Mr. Mike Nolas, man. He was a great guy, man. Certainly. Great guy, and thanks for being on the show yesterday, man. I really appreciate you. So with that said, as I mentioned, so much to get into today. Thank you all so very much for tuning in. I mean, hey, tons of love all the way around. First and foremost, got to say thank you all so much for all of the love we have gotten over the last week. My gosh. Well, actually, first and foremost, let me always start the show off by saying God is great, y'all. That's all there is to it, man. God is great. Without him, nothing is possible. So as always, big shout out to the man above. Without God, nothing is possible. No one is possible. Nothing is possible without God. So just gotta always say that without a doubt. And a big shout out to all you out there listening right now and all the listeners. Thank you so much for making IE Sports Radio what it is and what it's been for the last 5 years. My gosh, this is great. I mean, we have come so dang far. And it's all because of y'all. Like, seriously, every one of y'all, we couldn't appreciate you more. Thank you so much for showing us love. I mean, my gosh, we just got so much to get into. It has been a really crazy last couple of weeks, so let me just go ahead and explain real fast. It's just been madness, y'all. I'm getting ready to start my master's coming up here in the fall. And I am getting ready to, I'll be registering my classes pretty soon, so I'm getting that set up. I am now coaching varsity football at my old high school, Paris High, so awesome. I know, thank you, I appreciate it, thank you very much. But, really excited for that, y'all. So, I've been coaching, I'm getting ready to play for my own season this year. That's right. Your boy Larry B's about to get out there and play another season for the SoCal Warriors, so super excited for that, and just really, really, really excited for that going on. And I have that. My gosh, everything's been so much. Of course, getting this website set up. I mean, everything. It has been awesome, though. Quite the journey, getting just so much going on. But I gotta tell you, unfortunately, I had to step back from the show for a couple of weeks. It has just been, incredible. I mean, the show, everything's been awesome, but unfortunately, I just couldn't do the show in the last couple of weeks, so my apologies, but we're back at it today. So, the website took so much out of me. Well, not literally out of me, but the website took so much, so much. It took a lot to get through, and I finally got it all put up. So all of you out there, thank you so much. Thank you all so very much for checking it out. I mean, it's cool. I put the little map on there that shows, how many people are tuning in and everything, or how many people have visited it. And I mean, it is just so cool. Like, I appreciate all of you so very much for checking out this website. It's been it was fun to put together. Also, our drop will be playing later on today. I have officially made our IE Sports. Actually, I'll be playing that in just a few minutes. I just want to play it because I want all of you to hear it. But is our official drop, our commercial, our network drop. It is at the top of our page. So if you go to iesportsradio.com, it's so cool to say that. If you go to IE Sports Radio, we've been trying to get a website for a long time, y'all. So we finally got it. But if you go to iesportsradio.com, go check it out, and go look at the top, click play, and you will see the little box right there. Click play, of course, and you will hear our network commercial. I'll be playing it momentarily, but it's super cool. It's 9 minutes and 21 seconds long, but it's super cool. You hear everything we have to offer here at IE Sports Radio, and as it goes, y'all, thank you so much. Seriously, thank you so much for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
sports fans, this is me, your boy Larry B, bringing you yet another action-packed, wall-to-wall episode of The Defining Moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Phil Robinson here at IE Sports Radio, taking this moment to welcome you to storm down the lane on the Fast Break Show with me and my man Phil Jones right now.
Hey everybody, it's the host of the fastest show on IE Sports Radio, Daryl Kinsey Jr., and I'm welcoming you to take a lap of the extra mile with me and my co-hosts Lolita Camillo, Caitlin Seen, and Michael Ward as we go through all of the news and updates in NASCAR, Formula One, IndyCar, and more. That's the Extra Mile, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on IE Sports Radio.
Hello, lovelies. Caitlin Seam here, host of Not What It Seems, where nothing is off limits and no sport is safe. On IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Two Wheels Wednesday with Matt White, taking you inside the pit lane of British Superbike, World Superbike, and the big one, MotoGP.
Hey everyone, this is Felicia, the First Lady of IE Sports Radio and one of your esteemed co-hosts of Ring Rambling Radio, along with Martine Sandoval and Matt Petrushka, for all of your wrestling news and talk, from everything from WWE to Ring of Honor, All Elite Wrestling, New Japan, anything you like. Be sure to catch us right here on IE Sports Radio.
Hey there, hockey fans. This is Cal Henderson
with Nico Green.
And we are welcoming you to join us on the Neutral Zone, presented by IE Sports Radio throughout the hockey season.
Buddy, let me tell you, hockey's never been hotter, and neither has the Neutral Zone.
You definitely don't want to miss it, so tune into youtube.com, IE Sports Radio, or IESportsRadio.com for all things that are hockey.
Hey everyone, this is your boy Phil Jones, co-host of the Unfiltered Truth with Phil Robinson III. Every Monday, 3:30, 6:30, and Tuesday, 5:30, 8:30. On IE Sports Radio, we're here to give you guys nothing but Raider news, breakdowns of both sides of the game, and interviews with active and former players and NFL analysts. Because we are here to give you nothing but the unfiltered truth. We want you guys to get the real stuff. So join us every Monday night and Tuesday night on IE Sports Radio.
What's going on, football fans? This is me, your boy Larry B, inviting you to join myself, Callum Reynolds, Mike Pat, and John Felipe for one of the most electrifying football shows you have ever heard. 3 and Out, right here on IE Sports Radio. Recap of the week before, a preview of what's to come, and of course, 3 hardcore head-to-head primetime face-offs each week. You don't want to miss it.
You love racing, and we love racing. So join myself, Lolita Camillo, with my co-hosts, Daryl Kinsey Jr., Caitlin C., and Michael Ward as we talk racing on the Extra Mile here every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on the IE Sports Radio Network, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Oh yeah, if you're a fan of professional wrestling, if you're a fan of WWE, if you're a fan of All Elite Wrestling, if you're a fan of the sport of professional wrestling, you're in the right place. Hello, I am the SoCal Saint, Martine Sandoval, coming to you live with Ring Rambling Radio, along with the First Lady of IE Sports Radio, Felicia, and my good brother, Matt Petrushka. It's Ring Rambling Radio, part of IE Sports Radio. Dig it!
Hello and welcome to the Soccer Scoreboard Show with your host, Gabriel Montoya. This is the show for soccer, football fans, or whatever you call the beautiful game. Every week I tackle the latest and greatest news from around the soccer world, from the English Premier League to the World Cup to MLS, Liga MX, and more. You can listen to the Soccer Scoreboard Show and our lineup of fantastic guests every Friday at noon here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Are you a big fan of baseball? Well, then join us every Tuesday on the International Empire Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, Brandon Buckingham. I have my co-host, Karen Rodriguez, and Blake Henley. Join me every week when we will discuss the latest in sports. See you then.
What's up, IE Sports Radio family? This is John Felipe, one half of the Brothers Blue, coming to you from Charlotte, North Carolina. You can catch me on any one of those shows, on 3 and Out, on The Brothers Blue on YouTube, as well as IE Sports Radio, your home for all that is sports.
Warning, warning. The following opinions are not sanctioned by IE Sports Radio. The truth is a beautiful thing. We would never twist it, nor will it ever be sugar-coated. So prepare yourself. I'm Phil Robinson, he's Phil Jones, and this is The Unfiltered Truth.
Hello, this is Michael Ward from The Extra Mile, and you're listening to IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey, IE Sports Radio family, this is your boy, Mr. Gumbo himself, Caleb Fat Mac Reynolds. What up? You know I'm part of the Defining Moment NBA segment and also 3 and Out. Holla at your boy from the Big Easy all the way to your front door. This is IE Sports Radio, your home for all that is sports.
Hey guys, it's Blake Henley, better known as H-Town Blake to some of you. Happy to announce that Bases Loaded is back and in full force. We'll be bringing that high heat every Tuesday night here on IE Sports Radio. So come home, get ready, dig into that batter's box, and see if you can chase that high heat, baby. Because we'll be coming to you live with all the stats, all the rundowns, all the division rivalries, and every team that's going to make the playoff push to get to that one and only October and get to the pinnacle of what baseball is, to hoist that Commissioner's Trophy when it's all said and done.
This is your Bautista, the Kurt Man. You can catch me each month alongside Vince Wright, sports governor of Minnesota, talking boxing on IE Sports Radio.
Hello, sports fans. This is Mike Pat, co-host of 3 and Out NFL Edition, editor of the IE Sports Radio blog, diehard Redskins fan, alumni of the Florida State University, and all-around sports fanatic. Come check out my stuff and more on IE Sports Radio, your feed for all that is sports.
Hey, this your boy Phil Jones, also the host of the Fast Break Show, with Phil Robinson III joining me as my sidekick as always. Look, we come at you guys every Friday night at 5 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern. Look, we give you guys all the latest NBA news from NCAA as well and the WNBA. We also let you guys know pregame, injuries, whatever you need to know for basketball, for your fantasy league as well. So look, y'all tune in for the Fast Break Show every Friday night at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern on IE Sports Radio. Y'all take care.
What's good, everybody? My name is Taryn Rodriguez, co-host for Bases Loaded. You can catch me, Brandon Buckingham, and Blake Henley on Bases Loaded at 7 p.m. Pacific Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on IE Sports Radio. It's sure to be a grand slam.
This is Matt Petrushko, one half of the Good Brothers of Ring Ramblin' Radio, with Martine Sandoval and Felicia Ruizrager, and you can catch us each month talking everything wrestling right here on IE Sports Radio, your home for all that is sports.
Do you love college football? And do you want to hear a college football show dedicated to all that is college football, including junior college and the CCAA and the NJCAA, the NAIA, and the NCAA, including Division III, Division II, Division I AA in the FCS, and Division I Single A in the FBS? Well then, look no further. Join myself, Larry B., and my colleagues, Mr. H-Town Blake Henley, and Mr. Christian Espinoza, each week during the college football season for the latest in college football on 3 and Out College Edition, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Y'all, that was amazing. I'm just saying, that was so much fun. And seriously, thank you so much, y'all. You all of you deserve it. You deserve the love, man. You deserve the applause. Thank you so much once again for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports. You are awesome. I couldn't appreciate y'all more. That is what we've become right there. That is it right there. That commercial, that website that you see, once again, IESportsRadio.com. Check it out. That's y'all. That's every one of y'all out there who makes this thing happen. We appreciate you so much. And it's just, I couldn't thank y'all enough for making this what it is. So here we are, back at it, doing our thing. And hey, let's enjoy some great sports together. We got our PR department now, so welcoming, of course, the lovely Miss Megan Renee and the lovely Miss Angela Winstead. So big shout out to them. Big shout out to them. They'll be managing everything PR. I mean, they'll be promoting our stuff, marketing, putting our links out there, tweeting along, everything. I mean, seriously, like everything. So they're awesome. They're just tweeting right now. I mean, they're throwing all the tweets out there. So big shout out to them. They're going to really help us out with getting out there and just getting more and more out there. And it's a team, y'all. At the end of the day, together, everyone achieves more. I've been on a team my whole life. Almost my whole life, especially playing football. I mean, it's a team thing, y'all. That's what it's all about. So big shout out to everybody out there with the tweets. Big shout out, of course, to the lovely Miss, and she's awesome, y'all. I just want to go ahead and say, this is one of the most creative names I've ever heard in my entire life. But she's awesome. Like, seriously, she's... I don't know. She cracks me up. She actually got me to my first Raider game. Pretty sweet last year. And of course, she is a total, she's a beauty. What could I say? She does her thing with beauty. She's like a beautician. She's awesome. She does so much cool stuff, like on her page. She's like a makeup artist and puts all like really cool stuff, really cool, YouTube videos and everything, and she recently just made her brand new YouTube, and you guys gotta go check us out, y'all. Her name is Beauty and the Bolts. So big shout out to Miss Stephanie. She is awesome. Go check her out. Her Twitter handle, of course, and I just want to spell this out so y'all read this, at SUNDARARUSAK. Go check her out, y'all. She's awesome. We're gonna type in Beauty and the Bolts. She's a gigantic Chargers fan. She's all over the place. Super cool videos. She vlogs about her. Like last year when the Chargers went to London, she followed them. I mean, she was at so many games. I went to the Raider game with her last year to watch my Raiders get destroyed. Typical Raiders. But anyway, we won't get into that. But awesome stuff. So go check her out as always. I mean, really go show her some love. She's retweeting right now and everything. So I really appreciate that. Big shout out to Mr. Matt White and, like I said, Miss Meg Renee and Miss Angela, and awesome stuff there. So really appreciate y'all. Couldn't appreciate y'all enough for tuning in and showing us some love. Mr. Taryn Rodriguez in the chat room. So big ups, man. Thank you very much for joining us here. All right, y'all, let's, by the way, Mr. Taryn Rodriguez, Mr. Blake Henley, H-Town Blake, and Mr. Brandon Buckingham returns tomorrow for Bases Loaded, 7 p.m. Pacific Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Check it out. Great stuff as always. As Taryn says in that drop, y'all, it's sure to be a grand slam. It sure is every time. Bases are loaded with those three on, man, so hey. That's how it goes. So, anyway, all right, y'all, let's do this and go ahead and jump on into the sports. We got the commercial up out of the way in the very beginning. Got everybody out there. Thank you for joining me in the chat room. Show me some love. And let's go ahead and get on to the sports, y'all. So, we're 20 minutes in already. My bad. 23 minutes in. So, let's get into it. Here we go. Without further ado. Oh, it's time. It's time for some sports talk. First and foremost, once again, I mean, these ladies need no introduction, but they're going to get it anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the baddest teams ever! I'm so excited to announce this yet again, back-to-back champions, USA, baby! The U.S. Women's National Team! My gosh, I'm so freaking excited for this! I was exploding yesterday. Like, I seriously blew up when I had to put myself back together. I mean, I'm seriously so excited for this. What a victory yesterday for the women's national soccer team. I mean, oh my gosh, what a win. The Netherlands, you know what, they deserve an applause. I'm just applause happy today. The Netherlands deserve an applause as well. That team fought so freaking hard. That goalkeeper, my gosh, I forgot her name already. She is amazing. Like, this team is unreal. I mean, it was awesome to see, but the U.S., of course, gets strong as can be. First goal by Megan Rapinoe, of course. Big shout out to Miss Rapinoe. Amazing player. One of our strikers in the 61st minute on a penalty kick scores, and then Rose Lavelle in the 69th minute, right moments after. I mean, what a crazy turn of events. It was 0-0. Those ladies scored, okay? These ladies scored in the tournament every they scored before the 12th minute of every game in this tournament. It wasn't to be this time, because Netherlands, they brought their A game. But in the 60s, they scored in the 61st minute and in the 69th minute. So big ups to USA. They got it done. Megan Rapinoe, amazing all-star. She went ahead and got the golden boot and the golden ball, the best player and the highest scoring player. So big ups to her. And I guess got to give credit where credit's due. Amazing job by those ladies, and they got down. I was watching a lot of their tweets, and they were partying afterwards and drinking and enjoying themselves, and you know what, y'all? That's what it's all about. I mean, of course, not going to promote alcohol or anything, but I'm just saying, you know what? They fought so hard for this. They earned it. They enjoy it, ladies. Enjoy it. So, USA does it. Go back-to-back, fourth title, 1991, 99, 2015, and 2019. If you remember 2011, it came down to a PK shootout with Japan. The Japanese ladies got it done. What an incredible shootout that was. 4 years later, the USA will meet Japan again and retaliate, and it was like 5-0, I think, in the first 25 minutes, something like that. It was crazy. But, that's nothing against Japan. I'm just saying, just the USA just came out full force, and this year again, they just did it again. So I'm excited for another 4 years. I mean, maybe want to take it slow, of course. We want to get there in nice fashion. Don't want to rush it, but I'm just saying, I'm so excited to hear these ladies. To see these ladies get this done, and just what an incredible victory this was for the USA. So moving forward, let's go ahead and jump on into the Copa America. What an incredible game! What a job by Brazil. I mean, it's like, how did you think Brazil was not going to win the Copa America? It was in freaking Brazil. I mean, come on now. I know the World Cup was in Brazil in 2014, 2 years later in 2016, the Olympics were there. So, yeah, I know. I mean, it's, I get it. Brazil doesn't always, take gold when they're home, but in soccer, for dang sure, I mean, in 2014 wasn't to be for them, in the World Cup, but I'll tell you what, heck of a fight for them, but for the Copa America, they're going to be somewhere right around the finals, and they got this thing done. I mean, Chile, they won with the last two, I think, before this, so Chile wasn't to be. I think they lost in the third. They had a third place game. They weren't able to even win the third place game. I think that was Argentina that won that one, but they will take on Peru, and what a game. To think it would have been maybe a little more lopsided. Nothing against Peru, okay? There's nothing against these guys. I have nothing bad to say. But I do know Brazil. Yeah. Anybody who knows soccer should know who Brazil is. I'm just saying. All right, you have legends from this team. The great Pelé of the 50s, all right? I mean, Ronaldinho, just a couple years back, like a decade ago. Amazing players in between, sure, that I don't even know. But I'll tell you what, it just looked to be a little more lopsided than I thought it would be. And honestly, the only score for Peru would be a penalty in the 44th minute. But Everton scores in the first 15 minutes, in the 15th minute, 1-0 Brazil. Then in extra added time in the first half, in the 48th minute, 45 plus 3, Gabriel Jesus will score here. And it would be 2-0 at the half. So, yeah. Once again, you'd kind of think they'd run away with this thing. Actually, no, I'm sorry. The 44th minute would be a penalty. So it'd be 1-1. And then in the 48th minute, in stoppage time, you'd have, that was Paulo Guerrero, I believe. That's how I pronounce his name, of Peru. And then Gabriel Jesus with the goal in the 48th minute. And extra time, in stoppage time, and there you have it, 2-1 at the half, all right? So, we get into the 70th minute, and Gabriel Jesus now has a red card, and he is sent off. So, you're playing the last 20 minutes with 10 guys, and, you'd think that Peru would, make something happen this time, but wasn't to be. Brazil is just too dang powerful. They're a tough team. I mean, Neymar out there just doing his thing. This is a very tough, strong team. And, well, they get into the 90th minute, and it's looking like it's, gonna be Brazil. And wouldn't you know it, Richarlison, I believe. I don't know his name. Don't want to butcher his name. But 90th minute penalty kick, and there it is. Kaboom! I mean, just adds insult to injury. 3-1, and Brazil does it again, as I mentioned earlier. This will be their 9th Copa America title and their first in 2007. So congratulations to Brazil! What a victory! Incredible job to them. As I mentioned, Argentina will win the third place game, defeating Chile 2-1 on the day before, on Saturday. And as for also, you know what, might as well just mention the women's third place, of course, because that was also on Saturday. It would be Sweden defeating England 2-1, so they will get third place in the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup. So, moving on here to last night, the Gold Cup, the CONCACAF Gold Cup. And this is bittersweet, of course. I think I put it up last night. I got a lot of feedback on it, but I'm a proud Mexicano, as well. Chicano. I'm proud, Mexican American, but hey, I'm an American. I mean, it's my country. I'm Stars and Stripes. I love my heritage, but hey, I'm a Latino, but I'm an American. So I'm proud. I'm going to cheer for my team, cheer for the USA, and it was a good game. I can't give enough props to USA for at least being in this thing. But the missed opportunities were just all over the place for both teams, honestly. Mexico could have scored a few more goals, honestly. And U.S., there were so many opportunities in this game that were just driving me up the freaking wall. I was like, dude, you have, I think it was 8-5 shots on goal at the half. And, that's a good amount of shots by each team, but it's like America, hello, can you maybe, get a couple more runs? I mean, they definitely had lots of opportunity. But, hey, it's a woulda, coulda, shoulda thing, and you know what? There's no way that I can ever take this from Mexico. What a job they did. I mean, really, it was a good game. Defensively, they played really well. They got the ball out every time it got near their goal. I mean, they played extremely well. Ochoa, I think he won the Golden Glove, or for the best keeper in the tournament. But yeah, Ochoa is that guy's the real deal, man. I mean, incredible player there. And it would be Jonathan Dos Santos who would actually score the game winner in the 73rd minute. Really neat goal. And it was kind of like it just got fed to him. A little back kick action from whoever it was who set him up, and then Dos Santos nails that sucker right over a defender into the goal. I think over the goalie, or I don't even know if it was over the keeper, or it was in the corner. I don't know where it was, but that sucker just went right on him. And I just felt that I really thought the U.S. could at least tie this thing. I thought we were going to get a PK shootout or something. I really did. I had so much faith and so much hope in the U.S. to win this thing. But, it's tough. There was a guy last night, Altuna, I believe, was a player in there. And Landon Donovan said it the best at the end. He says that Mexico actually has more, they had more firepower. It's just that these guys, I guess, were hurt or I don't know what. But, you have guys that aren't playing like Chicharito. You know what I mean? There's firepower that wasn't on that team last night, that wasn't playing. So there's actually even more that goes deeper into this Mexican soccer team. But they weren't even, I guess you can say, full force. And the U.S., we've seen better days. I mean, last year it made me sick that, apparently USA thought they were too cool to not, go to the World Cup because, we have better things to do. Like Italy, my other team, of course, as you know. Some of you know I'm a quarter Sicilian, so very proud of that. And Italy, I just kind of felt that it would be cute to, sit home too. I guess them and the USA probably had a barbecue together during the World Cup. I don't know. But, so that happened. But as for the U.S., the U.S. men's team is just... they're irritating, but I can't sit here and tell you that, it's really... everyone's going to jump all over the manager. Everyone's going to jump all over, oh, well, we don't have enough talent, whatever. No, there's plenty. It's just, yes, getting a team together is, of course, key. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to raw talent. And teams around the world are far ahead of the USA in soccer, of course. I mean, it's not our sport. But I love the fact that it's growing and it's getting bigger and better, I mean, think about this. Landon Donovan said it last night. He said that typically Mexico would have blown out the USA as they've done before. I mean, USA has also beaten Mexico in the last decade. It's been awesome. It really has become a rivalry, like an actually legitimate rivalry, But it's just, it needs to continue with the hunger to want to get better. Our players in the MLS, I really love it. I've spoken to Mr. Gabriel Montoya here on the show before, talking about the growth of the MLS and just how far the MLS has come. And I really love the direction of Major League Soccer. I love the direction of National Women's League, or National Women's Soccer League, the NWSL. I love it. Soccer is really growing here. Our women certainly have it down. But, since 1991, they won the first ever Women's World Cup. But as for, the men, got to step our game up. And it's definitely not the easiest, when you're facing juggernauts around the world, like Germany, Argentina, France, like we saw last year. England, a team who's always, has a pretty well-rounded soccer team. Teams like that, the tough, nasty teams look at Belgium last year making quite the run. I mean, there is so much, it's so open in the world of soccer when it comes to international teams. And I just love it. I love it so much because I love good variety. I love a good fight, I mean, when it comes to certain leagues, my gosh, you can just get a pillow and fall asleep. Like sometimes English Premier League. I love the Premier League, but sometimes it just gets ridiculous when somebody runs away with it. This year that was not the case. Had a really, really good fight, but like Ligue 1. It's like PSG. I remember having Matt White here on the show one time earlier this year, and it was hilarious because it was like, PSG won in August. I mean, it's true. Like, it's, the landslides, the Juventus and all that, it's frustrating. I don't care to see those, like, blowout, victories of, like, a New England Patriots type, where they just go out there and destroy everybody, and it's like, okay, well, we know who's going to win it. I mean, at least in the NFL, there's playoffs, but, so that's what I'm getting at. But in the world, right now, there's really no, like, amazing juggernaut. Like, yes, France won it. I'm not going to ever say anything bad about, a team who wins it and say they're not going to be relevant. But I just love the fact that there's so many other teams out there that if the ball would bounce just a different way in any of those matches, the game could be totally different. Like, I love it. Right now, in women's soccer, well, the USA has pretty much got it down. Now, is it going to get stale if the women win again? Well, for us, no. For people around the world, probably yes. But it's just, hey, you're the champ is a champ until somebody knocks them off, But at the end of the day, it just happens to be one of those things where maybe you get tired of it. I wouldn't ever get tired of the USA, But think of this, okay? And I remember having a talk not too long ago. I forgot. Let me see here. I forgot who I was speaking with, but I had brought up a line from Batman. And I remember I forgot what. It was The Dark Knight, but I remember Batman saying once, like in a movie, it's kind of funny, but it's true. It's the truth. You're only the hero until you eventually turn into the villain, basically, or until the city turns you into the villain, or something like that. And if you think about it, look at the Warriors. The Warriors were this amazing team who they didn't win anything since 1975. I mean, seriously. That was their first, last, and only before 2016, okay? And they absolutely earned every bit of this. I remember speaking with Phil Jones and Phil Robinson III, from Fast Break and the Unfiltered Truth here at IE Sports Radio. And I remember the comment being brought up that they did it the right way. There's nothing wrong with the Warriors. They didn't go out there and do this New York Yankee type of thing. Sorry, Yankees. But, they didn't go out there and buy everybody. They actually built this team through their farm system. They drafted. The only player they actually went out and got was Kevin Durant. And they're amazing for it, and they're just this top-of-the-line team. That first year, it was down with LeBron James and the Cavaliers. That's what everybody wanted to see, and guess what? They went at it for, 3-4 years straight in a row, you know what I mean? And they went back and forth. Great, but now everyone's sick and tired of seeing the Warriors. Now if the Warriors go to the finals, like, great, beat them! Somebody beat the Warriors! And it's kind of funny because just a couple years ago, they were the team that was the underdog. They were the team that everyone was rooting for. But people get sick and tired of seeing somebody up there all the time, including myself. I'm guilty of that too. So when it comes to the USA, just an example, major powerhouse team. And when you're on that, when you're a fan of that team, you don't want to see the dynasty stop. Like the Patriots fans out there, and I love it because you have that monopoly. But then again, at the same exact time, who can beat you? So I get where some people are coming from, where they're like, oh, great, here we go again. We already know who's going to win it, whatever. But at the same exact time, just know what that team's put into that run, in that particular part of their dynasty of, of how long they were up there, what they've done. I mean, seriously, it's been quite the road for the Warriors and for the USA women's team. So I'm just saying. So that's a little bit of a, interesting little conversation there, I guess, but really neat stuff there by both the USA teams, women's and men's, because women just have it down right now. The women are world power in soccer. The men's are anything but that, and it's just crazy to think that, something that I always like to say, and the women should be definitely paid more. They need to. Yes, I'm all for it, because this is a championship team, and the men aren't doing anything right now. Nothing against the men. I'm just saying that this is why. And it's a whole different debate, not going to get into it, but this is why I believe that women in sports, female athletes need to be equal with that. I mean, I'm not going to get all political, because I'm nowhere near that, and I can't stand to sit here and talk politics here. I'm not even a political person. But I got to tell you, I do feel that with that, it does need to be pretty equul, because these women play just as hard as the men do. And I just feel that, that does need to be equal. So with that said and done, what a game last night, as I mentioned. Mexico does it again. And you know what? What a job, all right? What a job by this Mexican team. Like I said, 1-0. They have now reached a record. They already had a record with 7. Now they're at 8. Can they get to 10? We'll see, with most Gold Cup titles. I think the U.S. has 6. So, hey, I mean, it's a true rivalry now. I love it, because they're going back and, we're going back and forth. Good stuff. And history. History was made. They got it done. And that was their first Gold Cup since 2015. So enjoy that one, Mexico, and great stuff there. So, with that said, plenty of soccer there to get into, and my gosh, we actually have, coming up on the horizon here, we're already in July, so guess what's coming up? All of the European leagues are on their way. We have so much to get into coming up here. We all know that it is the return of all of those leagues. We're right in the middle of the MLS season, the NWSL season as well, which we'll be getting into those later on in the show. I just want to jump on and get those soccer, those cups, of course, the major cups today. I wanted to make sure I get those first, and it's always awesome stuff there. But, so, we have that as well coming up, as well as the, I believe the ICC is coming up. As a matter of fact, the International Champions Cup. So, our International Champions League, that is. Of course, we all know this is basically the dress rehearsal for the season, kind of a preseason type of deal there. But hey, I still like it. I still enjoy it. I really do. I think it's awesome. And it's really cool to see these teams go head-to-head that you would never really see. Too bad they're not really full force. It's kind of like the preseason. But that is coming up here. I will confirm on dates on that coming up. After this, I think it is, let's see, the International Champions Cup is coming up, courtesy here of the ESPN Score Center app. we have here, yes, the ICC. It is coming up on July 16th, so we're 8 days away, y'all. Fiorentina is taking on Guadalajara Las Chivas, so that should be quite the game right there. I like that. That'd be pretty cool. So the table this year, pretty sweet. I like it. We got 12 teams in it. So we got Arsenal. We have Atletico Madrid, so Arsenal out of the Premier League. We have Atletico Madrid out of the out of La Liga, Benfica out of the Portuguese Liga. We have, of course, let's see here, Bayern Munich, which is the team that, just happens to dominate the German league every year, the Bundesliga. So, Fiorentina out of Serie A. So, really good team there. And, let's see, sorry about that. But yeah, really, I'm looking forward to seeing so many of these matchups. Seriously, this is super cool. I love. It's just neat to see these teams go at it because you never get to see it. They're around the World Champions League, the UEFA or the CONCACAF, because they're in the same area. But it's cool because they can kind of move around. So Guadalajara we have here, of course, as I mentioned, out of Liga MX. Inter, my team, Internacional, Inter Milan, they are going to be in there as well, out of Serie A. Juve, out of Juventus, out of Serie A as well. Manchester United, out of the Premier League. We also have your AC Milan, out of the Serie A. Real Madrid, out of La Liga. And Tottenham Hotspur, out of the English Premier League. So super cool to see all these teams go at it. Starting up once again next week, we'll be covering that here at iSports Radio. So the ICC coming on up in just 8 days. So hey, we're almost a week away from that. So really excited for that. And let's just continue on with some more sports. So with that said, y'all, that will be that. When we get back, we're gonna take a little quick commercial break. When we get back, we're gonna have quite the interesting topic on auto sports and what in the world happened yesterday in NASCAR. Seriously, I still have to try and explain to myself what happened and why everyone's so pissed off. It's kind of ridiculous. Actually, but we'll be talking about the CokeZero Sugar400 yesterday, and how the rain delay helped a youngster get it done, and why everyone's so mad that Kurt Busch didn't win. And also, we'll be talking some NHRA, New England Nationals, as I mentioned, Steve Torrence and Matt Hagan getting it done yesterday, and a brief talk on IndyCar and how close that race is, and Formula One, how not close that race is. How not close that entire series is. Just give the title to Hamilton already and to Mercedes. It's sad to say it, but it is what it is. But anyway, y'all, plenty of that and more sports coming up here. You are tuned in live to the defining moment right here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Drivers, start your engines. Auto racing takes many forms, from the close quarter contact of NASCAR
to the high-speed, high-risk atmosphere of IndyCar,
all the way to the pinnacle of technology with the Formula One World Championship.
No matter if you prefer the high banks of Daytona,
the concrete canyons of Long Beach,
or the flowing curves of the Nürburgring,
the international language of motorsports is simple. Go fast,
run hard,
and come home first.
So join us, myself, Daryl Kinsey Jr.,
Lolita Camello,
and Michael Ward,
on a world tour of all the best motorsports has to offer on the Extra Mile, Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, only on your home for all. That is sports. IE Sports Radio.
Hey, what's up, sports fans? You're looking for a different type of sports talk show, something you haven't heard before? You gotta check out the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday on 2 Live Stews Radio, 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Sports talk at its finest. Always have great guests, playing some good hip-hop. You don't want to miss it. Make sure to tune in to the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Ladies and gentlemen, hear me and hear me good. If you like sports, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like comedy, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like a different opinion coming from a different angle, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. So join me Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your host, Jelani J.B. Bodie. And of course, my man Lopan on the WaitAMinuteShow.com. Ain't that right, Lopan?
Hey, what's up, BS3 sports fans? If you love listening to the BS3 Sports Show, check out the weekend wrap-up every Monday at 12:15 Central Time, 1:15 Eastern, recapping the weekend in sports like you never heard it before. Comedy, interactive chat room, it's a must-listen. Weekend wrap-up on Spreaker.com, part of the X Squad. Check it out. You won't be disappointed.
Good day, folks. Yours truly, Nico Green here, reminding you, tune into the Neutral Zone Hockey Talk Radio Show, Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern, proudly brought to you by IE Sports Radio. It's the Neutral Zone. All hockey, all the time. Take care. See you soon.
Hi everybody, it's Calvin here from USRN, here to give you an important message. Since 2017, we have done our absolute best to provide you with nothing but the highest quality of sports calls in the greatest of quantity possible. Thanks to you, our station has grown more than we ever thought. That's why, with your help, we would like to grow even further. Just think, twice the amount of your favorite calls, 24 hours of coverage, talk shows, play-by-play, game-by-game analysis, and so much more. That's right, USRN2 is officially in development, but we can't do it alone. We have set up a GoFundMe page that you can access from our homepage on the left of your screen. We also are planning special giveaways and prizes to our highest donors. Our goal here at USRN is to bring you the best calls possible at no cost to you. In order to continue to do that, we need your help now. Please check out our GoFundMe page, and if you would like to know how you can help, you can email usrnradio@gmail.com. Without your support, we couldn't do what we do.
What up, all you boxing fans? This is Vince Wright, the sports governor, and me and Gilbert Batista are the host of Ringside on IE Sports Radio. Make sure you keep it tuned to IE Sports Radio, Spreaker.com for the latest edition of Ringside. All the boxing news you need right here. Keep it tuned, Spreaker.com, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Well, I know Vince and Gilbert are going to get ready. Vince, of course, the sports governor of Minnesota, and Mr. Gilbert, the cut man, Mr. Gilbert Batista. They will be coming back, I believe, next week, getting you ready for Thurman and Pacquiao. Wow, this is going to be a battle. I can tell you right now, this is something. I mean, Thurman has proven himself to, I mean, the guy is a welterweight champ, but this is going to be a test. Pacquiao is no joke, man. I mean, I know he's, 40 or nearing 40, but still, at the end of the day, Pacquiao is still in my top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in the world. I mean, the guy's amazing. So, will this be a final hoorah for Pacquiao, win or lose? What will this mean for Thurman, winning this moving forward? Will he get, will he, where will he go? In a sense, are we going to see unification fights like Bud Crawford or Errol Spence Jr. or Thurman? Are we going to see that? So I'm so excited to see this fight coming up next weekend on July 20th. Pacquiao, Thurman. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to save my thoughts and comments and everything for next week because I really I want to have Gilbert Batista back on. We're going to talk a lot about it. It's going to be a really good fight. I'm super excited for that coming up for next week. So, yeah, that welterweight division is absolutely, without a doubt, one of the, in my opinion, the most competitive division out there. I mean, yeah, looking here, courtesy of the ESPN SportsCenter app. Terrence Crawford, WBO champion right now. The IBF, Errol Spence Jr., amazing. WBA, Keith Thurman. And then WBC, don't forget, Sean Porter, man. Him and that 2016 fight between Thurman and Porter was amazing. Till this day, I still think Sean Porter won, but what a good fight that was. Keith, one-time Thurman, doing his thing, holding on to his title. But I mean, there's no diss on Keith Thurman. I just thought that that Sean Porter won this thing. So, anyway, but really good there. By the way, I'll be having yes, we are on YouTube now. That's right, we are on YouTube. So, anybody out there, check us out on YouTube at IE Sports Radio. We are, of course, making, our podcast go there, but we'll be making some videos and everything. And they're just going to be basically, it's called extras. So I'll be making a Defining Moment extra coming up within a few days, hopefully, about boxing in the heavyweight division. And was it saved? Was Joshua and Wilder not fighting? Did that kind of save the heavyweight division? Just saying, I don't know. Was Ruiz defeating Joshua a part of that? Is Tyson Fury and Wilder fighting instead of Joshua and Wilder? Is that actually good for the heavyweight division? Is there more competition now than ever? Is Ortiz going to get another shot at Wilder? Of course he is. I mean, at least I think he is. Tyson Fury, what's next for him? And him and Wilder. Got some more fights down the line. So you got guys like him. The guys got guys like those who are clearly in it. So those 4 guys at the top right now, and I'm really excited. I really, really am. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on. So I'm making a video about that. But anyway, so with that said, we're going to go ahead and jump on into some NASCAR. And I'm not going to make this long. I'm really not going to make this long. Look, point blank, I didn't get to see it. I forgot what I was watching and covering. I've been watching Angels and Astros. Crazy game that was. We'll get into that in a little bit. But, okay, so here's the deal. I even had to read an article real quick just to make sure I knew what I was talking about. Article on, looks like NASCAR.com by Zach Albert. It was written 19 hours ago. But, look, I had to Google it. But, look, guys, seriously, this was... Okay, so basically, we don't have very much longer to go in this race. I forgot, it was after the second stage, so we were already in the last stage of the race, okay? The big one happened, of course, as we know, the restrictor plate tracks, which they don't have restrictor plates no more, which is pretty sweet. And this is pretty much what happens. Kurt Busch evades all of it, okay? Gets through the crash, and he's leading the race. There was a caution, and they were cleared, okay? They were cleared to go. I think it was like 33 laps to go or something like that. But they were cleared, with 33 laps remaining. So they were, they were getting close to the, to getting back up to green. Well, Kurt Busch will pit, okay, with 33 laps remaining in the race. And after he pits, because I guess they were informed that they were going to go green coming up, so Kurt Busch will pit. Cool. Leading the race at that point in time, after Kurt Busch pitted, was none other than the youngster here. I don't even know who he is, okay? He must be an Xfinity driver, all right? But worked his way up. And the youngster here will be leading the race, Justin Haley. Right after Kurt Busch pits, they red flagged the race again because there was lightning, it says here in the article, written by Mr. Zach Albert on NASCAR.com, that it was... there was lightning within an 8-mile radius of the track. And after that, they went ahead and just, I guess delayed the race. And after that happened, it just became, it was already delayed from Saturday to Sunday. And, they weren't going to delay it again, I'm sure. Or at least apparently they weren't. And there it is. They called the race. And there you have it. When a race is called, due to weather, whoever's leading the race will win. As long as I've been watching NASCAR, which has been, I took like a break in the 2000s, like a 10-year gap, but I remember watching it back in the late 90s when I was a kid. And seriously, from what I know with rain delays, I've always known it to be whoever's leading, when it's over with, gets the victory. Or when they call it, that's it. So cool for Mr. Justin Haley getting his first ever, or at least from what I know, because I didn't even know the guy. But getting his first victory ever. So let's go ahead and just go ahead and do this real fast, because you know what? I don't care if that's how he won it. Regardless, he won the freaking race, and that's all that matters. It's his first ever. NASCAR Monster Energy Cup victory. So congratulations to Justin Haley, first victory, winning the CokeZero Sugar 400 at Daytona. Okay, now let's talk about the crap surrounding it now, okay? the poor guy, man. But you know what? It was 33 laps to go. Okay, we got through 2 stages of the race, and the race was delayed already from a day. This guy put in his work to at least be in the right place at the right time, okay? It is what it is. He survived all of that. I don't even know where he was running prior to the wreck. I have no idea, but he ended up after because it says here in the article that Landon Cassill also pitted, and there you go. Okay, so Kurt Busch and Landon Cassill both pitted. Apparently, Justin Haley was in 3rd place, and then right after Kurt Busch pits, the lightning strikes, and wouldn't you know it, they just called the race, I guess, or red flagged it, and then ended up calling the race after that. Whatever, big whoop, and there it is. Now, everyone seems to be really irritated. I was reading Twitter yesterday, and everyone was really, really, really pissed that Kurt Busch didn't win the race. But does that make any sense? It happens. It freaking happens. Kurt Busch is a great driver, okay? But it happens. It happens. He pitted. He didn't know that was going to happen. He pitted, lightning strikes, and wouldn't you know, they called the race. It is what it is, y'all. It is what it is, okay? That's the rule. When they call the race, the person who was leading last, or the person who is currently leading that race, is the winner. Just so happened that lightning strike right after Kurt Busch went down the pit lane, or went to his pit. Okay, took a made a pit stop, and there you have it. Mr. Justin Haley would happen to be in the lead when they called it, and there it is. Boom, he wins the race. Seriously, guys, this is no one. I don't know. I was reading some tweets today, like, oh, they screwed Kurt Busch or whatever. I'm thinking to myself, like, no, they didn't. They didn't. They didn't. There's nothing happened. Like, he pitted. It is what it is. So anyway, I'm gonna go around in circles with myself, and I don't want to, but that's basically how I see it. It is what it is, man. Congratulations once again to Justin Haley. This guy earned it. Nice victory for him. And you know what? Good. I hope he wins another one to shut everybody up. But I'm just saying, I'm sorry, but like, come on, like. How did Kurt Busch get through this? It sucks it happened. Great, he was leading the race. If he hadn't have pitted, great. He was under the impression that they were going to go green pretty soon. So, yeah, I'll take a pit stop real quick. And, yeah, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is, okay? So, yeah, I don't think there's anything, no foul play, nothing like that. I think he's definitely I think he's definitely a, Kurt Busch is a champ, of course, the guy's awesome, great driver. I don't know if he won a championship or not, maybe he has, I don't know. So I've been out of the loop for a little bit with NASCAR, but regardless, is what it is. Great victory there for Justin Haley, and there we go. So, anyway, great job. There we go. Justin Haley has found himself now in the NASCAR playoffs, so hats off to him. Great stuff there. And there we have it. So, Daytona, at the 4th of July, of course, the CokeZero Sugar400 are good to go. And there we have it. So, next up next week, we have the Kentucky Speedway, the Quakers 400, and we are rolling on with the NASCAR season. So as of right now, current standings, I will look at the bubble. Going backwards, we have the wildcard drivers, Ryan Newman and Clint Boyer, 16 and 15. And then from 14 to 11, we have Kyle Larson, Jimmy Johnson, William Byron, and Ryan Blaney. From 10 to 6, we have here Eric Almirola, Alex Bowman, Kurt Busch, and Chase Elliott, and Denny Hamlin in your current top 5. Martin Truex, Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, and Joey Logano leading the charge. So there you have it, y'all. It's a little NASCAR there. Let's go ahead and jump on into some NHRA and the New England Nats. New England Nationals, what a performance. I mean, Steve Torrence does it again. I don't know how many freaking wins this is for him already this season. The only driver to ever sweep, the Countdown to One, the 6 playoff races in the NHRA. What a job. I mean, seriously, what a job by him. And he got it done. All right, so he will win this week in Top Fuel, just doing what he does. And incredible run by him. He will defeat Scott Palmer. And look at this here. Actually, it wasn't really that close of a race. But looks like he was, his reaction time, 0.050. And his time was 3.861. At 321.5 miles an hour. That's flying, all right? So, awesome job there. Scott Palmer, reaction time of 0.70. We have here, 0.070. And his time was 4.014. And his mile per hour was 251.25 miles per hour. So there you have it. And over to Funny Car, Matt Hagan, the man who was deemed too much for the car by the Extra Mile crew here on IE Sports Radio, because Matt Hagan's freaking buff. Big old giant, big old monstrous dude driving a Funny Car. But he will get it done yesterday. Reaction time of 0.033. His official time, 4.014. So awesome stuff there. What did you know that? That's at the same time as Scott Palmer. Anyway, at 322.8 miles per hour. And Sean Langdon will be the runner-up there. So at 0.055 reaction time. And his time was 4.046. And he was at 317.49 miles per hour. So that was a pretty close race there. Those guys were moving. But there was only one winner, and congratulations to Mr. Matt Hagan. So congratulations to Matt Hagan as well as Mr. Steve Torrence for hoisting the Wallies yesterday at the New England Nationals in the NHRA. Alrighty, so we're going to jump into IndyCar briefly, just because I do believe we have a race coming up, I think next weekend. Let's take a quick look here. But yeah, IndyCar right now is just awesome. I love it. IndyCar, I know I didn't get into the standings for the NHRA, my bad, guys. Just I don't want to run short of time, but we'll get into that course coming up here. The countdown will be coming up in September, so we'll get closer to that. But for the IndyCar, and that was courtesy of NHRA.com, by the way, and this... We have an IndyCar is courtesy of the ESPN Sports Center app. So, right now, current top 5 is pretty awesome. So close. Well, kind of within each other, with a little bit over 100 points. So, 5th place, Will Power, 294 points, okay? He's 108 behind. Scott Dixon with 308, he's 94 behind. Simon Pagenaud with 341, 61 behind. And then we have a fight at the top right now. Alexander Rossi with 395, just 7 points behind the leader, Joseph Newgarden, with 402 points. So this is awesome. Really looking forward to that one. We have Honda Indy Toronto coming up this weekend on the 14th. So really excited for that one. Scott Dixon won it last year. Can he do it again? Imagine if Scott Dixon were to do this thing again. I mean, really boost him. He's right there on that top 5. This is really awesome here. So, so great points race. Unlike the next topic, which is going to be brief, trust me, it's going to be brief, because it's just kind of, yeah, it's just kind of... Anyway, Formula 1! All right. Well, we have the British Grand Prix coming up this week, the Rolex British Grand Prix coming up, so hopefully we have a pretty good race at Silverstone this week. I know over there in Mr. Matt White's neck of the woods. Lewis Hamilton won it last year at home, of course, in Britain for him, British driver, and well, wouldn't you know it, right now these points are anything but competitive. So let's take a look at the top 5 and everyone can get a good laugh, yeah? So, Leclerc right now, currently 5th place, with 105 points. Okay? 5th place. Then we have Sebastian Vettel with 123. Those are the 2 Ferrari drivers. We have 1 Red Bull, Max Verstappen with 126. Okay? Okay, let's just, put that into perspective. Then we have leaps and bounds ahead, Valtteri Bottas with 166 points. And then Lewis Hamilton leading the charge with 197. Yeah, that's just I mean, hey, nothing against Mercedes, all right? They are the class of NASCAR. They are absolutely the class of NASCAR. NASCAR, of Formula 1. They're the class of... Imagine them being the class of NASCAR. But I was told by Mr. Joe Kinsey Jr. before of the Extra Mile that Mercedes wouldn't even want to waste their time with NASCAR, which, it'd be kind of cool to see them there. But, yeah, not their thing. But whatever. But right now, I mean, seriously, you might as well just give the trophy to Lewis. I mean, he's just going to run away with this thing. He's got 6 or 7 victories already in the season, or something like that. I think maybe even more. 8? I mean, he's won so many dang races. So, yeah, look at this, y'all. He won Bahrain, China, Spain, let's see here, Canada, Monaco, Canada, and France. I mean, really. So, the guy's won plenty of races this year. And that's 6 already. So he'll be going for his 7th at home in Great Britain. And I have every bit of me believes that he can do this. I'll be picking him this week for my nearest to win pick. And right now, Mercedes in the constructor. We're not going to look at anybody else, okay? Seriously, Mercedes. Well, we'll look at Ferrari, okay? The close second place. Mercedes, 363 points. Ferrari, they're second place with 228 points. I'm sorry, but it's funny. Seriously. We're in freaking July. Okay, we're nowhere near November when it ends. And it's, over. Can Ferrari make some kind of a comeback? Of course they can. But it's not looking good. Ferrari is terrible right now. Seriously. I am I told you, proud Quarter Sicilian over here, and very proud of Ferrari for so many years, but they're just having all kinds of problems right now. Right now, Ducati is the one to watch in the bikes. Ducati's is getting down. So, great stuff there, but Ferrari is just, the last 2 episodes of the Extra Mile was the great Ferrari, or the great F1 debacle, or whatever it is. And I'm sure that some of that is actually about Ferrari being in there. So right now, it's just not looking any type of good for Ferrari. And that's basically how it all winds down in Formula 1. So that is our funny segment there. We got the summer break coming up in a few weeks here. And if anybody needs a break from anything right now, it's Ferrari away from Formula 1. So, yeah, Mercedes just rolling down the street right now. They are just flying. They're doing what they got to do. Not looking for a close race in Formula 1 this year. Could it be better next year? Let's hope. But right now, Mercedes is the class. Lewis Hamilton is the guy. Valtteri Bottas is just right there, too. But, right now it's looking like constructors. Mercedes does it again, and Lewis Hamilton wins his 6th, I think, if he wins it. So, yeah, crazy, but let's see if he gets it done. So, anyway, with that said, so that's pretty much that for all of the driving. For all of the that stuff there. Next up here, we have the, real quick too, briefly, the College World Series, by the way. I know it's been a couple of weeks, like I said, since I've been on, so big shout out. We have a champion to crown here for sure. They've already been crowned, but whatever, we're going to do it here on the defining moment. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Vandy. The Vandy boys got this thing done. They took Game 3 2 weeks ago, 8-2, as they win the series 2-1 and earn their second national championship in program history and their first since 2014. So congratulations to Vanderbilt. The Commodores got this thing done, defeating Michigan, and it was really good stuff. Michigan actually won the first game. Vanderbilt would come out and win the second, the next two. So great stuff by them, and just absolutely awesome. So real quick, we're going to touch on the NPF real fast too. National Pro Fast Pitch. So, we'll close the door on college baseball there. But hey, next year will have to definitely be a lot better. We'll have a lot more coverage on that next year. It won't be such a it was kind of an odd year so far for me. So anyway, next up in the NPF. But hey, nonetheless, I'm alive and I'm well, and thank you God. That's all I got to say. But all right, so next up, moving on to National Pro Fast Pitch. Just short and sweet for today. Just didn't get a whole lot of time or anything really to get this thing all together. But we do have some the standings for you, at least for right now, courtesy of ProFastPitch.com. Once again, courtesy of ProFastPitch.com, and you can just kind of see where everyone is. So, kind of sad, but Aussie Peppers, like seriously, we got more teams involved, and I'm glad, because there's teams like the Scrapyard Dogs that are no longer here that I remember, and the Akron Racers, who they were just in the Cows Cup a couple years ago, or the Coles Cup. But, so it sucks to see teams not being here anymore and teams folding. But it's cool because we're going international now in the NPF. All right, the Aussie Peppers, Beijing Eagles, that's pretty sweet. Cleveland Comets. We got the Canadian Wild, and then, of course, the USSSA Pride and the Chicago Bandits. So, really cool. Still at 6 teams, but so cool that we got 3 other countries involved. I mean, that is awesome, guys. So, I'm really excited for that. And right now, let's take a look at these standings and see how these ladies all measure up. Okay, so first things first, Aussie Peppers at 5-18. Having a tough go this year. Beijing Eagles at 7-19. Then we have Cleveland Comets at 9-17. Canada, talk about some great softball, 16-13 on the season. Then we have the USSSA Pride, who, of course, are defending champions from last year. And they would, of course, play the first place team, the Chicago Bandits, right now the current first place team. But the USSSA Pride at 17-3, my gosh. And then we have the Chicago Bandits at 19-3. So, pretty good teams there at the top, right? Will it be another series where these two teams go head-to-head? Will they meet in the semis? We shall see. But that's as of right this minute what they're looking like, and or what the standings are looking like. And let me just take a quick look here on ProFastPicks.com and see if we can get the schedule, because I definitely want to see if any of these teams are going head-to-head. So we have here on the 8th, July 8th, once again, it's courtesy of ProFastPicks.com. So, July 8th here, we do have a game tonight. Chicago Bandits taking on the Aussie Peppers. And tomorrow, it'll be the same deal, Chicago Bandits and the Aussie Peppers. And then on the 9th, also on the 9th, because that was also Chicago Bandits and the Aussie Peppers, we have the USSSA Pride taking on the Cleveland Comets. So that's going on right this moment. All coming up here in July. The next games for the next couple of days. I don't see anything else here. Actually, yeah, I do. Coming up here, and let's see if we can get the schedule here for July, and we do have it. So, other than that, the Chicago Bandits and the Aussie Peppers going head to head again on Wednesday, on July 10th. Chicago Bandits and Aussie Peppers again going head to head on the 10th, so it's a doubleheader that day, Thursday. USSSA Pride taking on the Comets on the 10th as well. And then on the 11th, we have the Bandits taking on the Peppers and the Pride taking on the Comets. And here we go again. Also, let's see here. On the 12th, Pride taking on the Comets. And on the 13th, Peppers taking on the Comets, and that will be that up until this weekend. So, anyway, that's what it's looking like as of for this week. So, no big time, no Wild versus Pride or Wild versus Bandits or Bandits versus Pride or any of that. But it will be pretty cool to see. But I'm sure we're going to see lots of that. I'm sure lots of that's already happened. So, anyway, we'll keep it up with you here on NPF. If you want more National Pro Fast Picks and, of course, baseball, we're going next. Well, check out Bases Loaded tomorrow with Mr. Taryn Rodriguez and Mr. H-Town Blake Henley, as well as Mr. Brandon Buckingham will return tomorrow for a brand new episode of Bases Loaded at 7 p.m. Pacific Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah, always check that show out. Always awesome stuff, and you gotta love it. So, with that said, we have a crazy baseball game to get to, but I will be right back. So we're going to take ourselves a quick break here, and when we get back, well, we're going to get on into a very crazy series of the week, as well as a extremely crazy Game 3 in the Rubber Max. So awesome stuff. Trust me, lots more to come now. You are listening to The Defining Moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, soccer fans. Pierre Moss here with you. I am the host of the Soccer Scoreboard Show right here on IE Sports Radio each and every week. Games and the best action from around the world of soccer. Not only do we have live scores for you, but we also news and all the latest stories from the soccer world right here on the Soccer Scoreboard Show. Come join us each and every week right here on IE Sports Radio.
Hi, I'm Phil Robinson, running points, setting up Phil Jones for the finish. Join us every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, as we break down the week in basketball on the home for Real Talk Sports Radio, IESportsRadio.com.
Were you listening to a great game on USRN, but then the Wi-Fi crashed in the final seconds? Or do you simply want to listen to the best calls we here at USRN have to offer? Well then, you need to go check out our Audio Boom page. It holds a collection of our best calls that you don't want to miss. How do I get there, you ask? You can download the Audio Boom app and look up Ultimate Sports Radio, or simply go to audiobook.com/Ultimate Sports Radio. And as always, thanks for listening and making USRN one of the most talked about sports networks on Mixler.com.
Wrestling fans in the podcast world, you are in the right place to listen to the right show, the premier show in the professional wrestling podcasting world. This is Ring Rambling Radio, and you are listening to one of the co-hosts. I am Martin Sandoval, a.k.a. the SoCal Saint, along with my two co-hosts, the lovely Felicia and my boy Matt. Yes, every Saturday or every other Saturday morning, you can listen to us, the premier wrestling team, giving you the premier wrestling news, rumors, updates, event discussions, everything that has to do with professional wrestling. You're in the right place. IE Sports Radio presents Ring Rambling Radio. Don't miss it, because it's just too sweet.
Two Wheels Wednesday is the place to come for all your motorcycle sports news every Wednesday on IE Sports Radio with myself, Matt White. All the latest news, rumours, race reviews and previews from World and British Superbikes and the big one, MotoGP. Two Wheels Wednesday, every Wednesday on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sport.
Hey USRN fans, do you have a product or company you're trying to promote? Look no further. USRN is teaming up with small local businesses trying to establish themselves via online promotion. Let us know if you're interested. Email us at usrnradio@gmail.com to learn more.
From the home plate to the nets, the end zone to the finish line, here nothing is off limits and no sport is safe. Not what it seems with your host Caitlin Seam, bringing you sports like you've never heard before. Catch me Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, right here on IE Sports Radio. The only question is, are you ready?
What's going on, IE Sports Radio family? How's it going, y'all? It's your boy Larry B right back at it. Big shout out to, of course, Miss Caitlin Seam. Catch Not What It Seems, Thursdays, 2 p.m. Pacific Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. Awesome stuff as always, and just, it's awesome. It's a great show. Sports as told by Miss Caitlin. She does a great job doing it. So catch her this week. She'll be back as well. Last week, of course, they were off for the 4th of July. But catch them, of course, talking lots of great stuff there. Another all-sports show. It's basically the sister show. Well, it is a sister show to this show, The Defining Moments. So, awesome stuff there. And always fun stuff. And really enjoy it. So, with that said, make sure to check her out, and of course, the rest of the great shows here on IE Sports Radio, as you already heard for earlier today, that big old gigantic commercial I played earlier. So, anyway, let's go ahead and jump on in to absolute madness, okay? Like, absolute awesomeness madness, okay? This was a game that it gave me fits. The third game did. The series was awesome, but this game, it flipped me out beyond belief. For those of you who know me, I am a diehard Angels fan. I love my Angels. That's what it's all about. You already know. And, yeah. Yesterday. Anyway, before we get too far into that, it was a great series. Series of the week this week we picked. There was no Sunday Night Baseball because of the fact that the All-Star break is, of course, this week. So I guess they didn't want to have a Sunday night game. Cool. Tonight is the Home Run Derby, as I mentioned, so check it out. Hit up tonight. I think it's 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But last night was a dang game, all right? It came down to a crazy rubber max that left my team on the losing side of it. A little bummed out about that, but it is what it is. It was a great game, and I can't take anything away from the Astros. But let's go ahead and take a recap of this past week's series of the week. Angels and Astros, absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome game. Super cool series. Great series. So let's go ahead and jump on in to the recap of this series. So, quick and dirty. Started on Friday, 4-game series here. And things would start off with quite the bang for the Angels. 5-4 victory here. Awesome game. Went back and forth from what I can understand. You get a chance to see it. But good game here. Angels pulled this thing off 5-4, winning a really awesome game there. Next up, next day on Saturday, it's a complete shutout. Angels could do absolutely nothing. Astros 4-0. Now we are 1-1 in the series, and we go to this absolute crazy game, absolute psycho-ness of a game. I don't know what you want to call it, but last night. So, we start things off here, and I'm going to literally go through this game because of how crazy it was. We even had extra innings. Not very many. Okay, I guess one, but still. So, let me just walk you through how crazy this game was. Okay, so this is courtesy of the ESPN SportsCenter app where I'm getting my sources from. Starting things off, Kemp will knock one out of the park, okay, to right field, 370 feet. White will score. It is a 2-run home run. In the bottom of the second, 2-0 Houston Astros. As you can see, I'm not very happy at this point in time. Then LaCroix, which unfortunately had a pretty bang-bang play last night. I think he's okay. But he will score on a wild pitch. And there you go, 1-0. We're on the board. All right, yeah, Angels happy. Top of the third. Then we get into the top of the third some more, and it just starts going off. The Angels just stack it on. I mean, we just pour it out. Fletcher, just singles to left, and then we have Rengifo with the score there, and we are now tied 2-2. Ohtani will knock one out of the freaking park, driving in Fletcher, 397 feet. Ohtani knocks one out as 4-2 Angels, but the Angels are not done yet. Pujols will then double to left. Calhoun will score, and it's 5-2 in the top of the third. Yes. Then we go to the top of the fourth. That's the next time. Well, of course, bottom of the third after that. But in the top of the fourth, Trout will sac fly to score in Rengifo. And it is 6-2 Angels. And then we go, of course, after that, bottom of the fourth, no score. Top of the fifth, LaCroix will triple. Okay, triple to deep center. And Simmons will score. 7-2 Angels. As you can see in the top of the fifth, I am pretty dang happy. Very proud of this team. I'm like, all right, there we go. You know, I mean, just absolute. This is it. I'm so dang happy about this. And it's been a rough week, you know. I mean, unfortunately, and I do want to give a moment of silence here for Mr. Tyler Skaggs. Unfortunately, you know, we lost him last Monday, so may he rest in everlasting peace. So if I may, just real quick, everybody, a quick moment of silence for the late Tyler Skaggs. You will not be missed. You will not, because you will be missed in an Angels uniform, and you will not be forgotten. So sorry, wow, it's messed up how I said that, but it's I was trying to combine two different things. But you will certainly be missed, and you will not be forgotten. Thank you so much for all of your awesome years, and go with God, brother. Thank you. Mr. Tyler Skaggs, unfortunately 27 years old, and just a terrible loss. It was a rough thing to even watch last week, and he is, without a doubt, smiling down his Angels right now, though, because they've been playing pretty well in his honor, and just they played the Rangers pretty well, won that series, and though we lost the series to the Astros, still played very well, and I think we're coming along. Unfortunately, LaStella was hurt. Tom LaStella was hurt last in that game back on Tuesday. He fractured his leg, I believe, his shin. Tibia, I forgot what it was, but so he's out for 6 to 10 weeks. So get well soon, brother, and get back out there, when you can. But get well soon. My thoughts and prayers are with Mr. Tom LaStella. But this is like a breakthrough game. We are really playing great baseball. And then it gets even better. Well, unfortunately, okay, I had to say it like that, sorry. But then we have here the bottom of the fifth, and the Astros answer back. Alvarez will single to center, Brantley will score, and it's 7-3. Okay, we gave up one, okay. Then White will double to shallow left, 7-4. Scoring, Gurriel will score. Then we have in the top of the sixth, Trout. It's like, nah, dude, nah, homie, nope. Bah, knocks one out of the park, 391 feet, 8-4. Angels, top of the sixth. Bottom of the 6th, Gurriel will then homer, 407 feet, scoring Altuve, Bregman, and Brantley. It's a grand slam for the Astros, 8-8. My gosh, I am just growing white hairs at this point in time. Bottom of the 6th. We have a scoreless 7th inning, and then top of the 8th, Trout will do it again. He homers to center, homered to center, 424 feet. Fletcher will score. It's a 2-run home run. Mike Trout makes it 10-8 Angels. Bottom of the 8th. Top of the 8th. Can we just close this game out? No, we can't. Alvarez will single to center. Brantley will score. And Gurriel, and guess what? Now it's 10-10. Great. Wonderful job, pitching. Just kidding, sorry. But anyway, we will then go into 9th, scoreless, in the extra innings. Nothing in the top of the 10th, but in the bottom, we get a walk-off. Springer will single to deep right. Reddick scores, and it's a freaking walk-off. Astros win the game. So, yeah, congratulations to the Astros on a great game. I cannot take that away from them at all. Nobody can. Congratulations to the Astros on an incredible victory. Angels, what in the world? Close the game out. But regardless, okay, I just gotta tell you, this Astros team has tons of fight, and they're not trying to give up that lead. They know the Angels are we're not necessarily gaining on them. We're still 12 games back from them. But, hey, every game counts. It's a long season, and they know every single game counts. Just because there's so many games, it doesn't mean you can slack. Okay, so awesome job there by the Astros. Astros win the series 2-1. And take a quick look here at the AL West. Houston, 57-33. Oakland, 50-41. Texas, 48-42. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, 44-46. So one game under 500. And Seattle at 39-55. So that's how that currently looks right now. So go look at the AL East. We have New York, the Yankees, just dominating right now. It's an amazing job they're doing. 57-31, that I believe is tied now for the best record. No, actually the Dodgers have the best record, but tied for second best record right now in the MLB with the Astros. We have the Yankees, 57-31. Tampa Bay, 6.5 games back at 52-39. Boston at 49-41. Looks like they kind of gotten over their World Series hangover, but they've got to get back on it now. Now they've got to really push in the second half of the season after the All-Star break. Toronto at 34-57, and Baltimore is having a tough go at 27-62. In the AL Central, we have here Minnesota at 56-33, leading 5.5 games over Cleveland at 50-38. Chicago White Sox at 42-44, Detroit at 28-57, and Kansas City at 30-61, also having a tough season there. So, moving on over to the National League, starting in the East, we have here, this is all courtesy of the ESPN Score Center app, by the way. Once again, this is all courtesy of the ESPN Score Center app, where I'm giving my sources, by the way. In the East, Atlanta, looking pretty sharp, y'all, 54-37, leading by 6 games over Washington, 47-42. The Phillies at 47-43, the Mets at 40-50, and Miami at 33-55. Then we have probably the most actually the most competitive division, because this is incredible. From first to last in this entire division, it is 4.5 games. Okay, the margin from first to last place is 4.5 games. That is closer than every division in the entire MLB. Okay, the other 5 divisions, from first to last in the NL Central, is closer than every division in the MLB. Okay, every other division in the MLB, from first to last. Okay, from first to second, that is. That's incredible. Okay, yes. I tripped out when I saw that. I was like, no way. Like, it's 4.5 games from Chicago to Cincinnati, and the closest to that is 5.5 games from Minnesota to Cleveland in the AL Central. So, as you can see here, and that's first to second place, by the way. Okay, so once again, don't get it twisted, my bad. From first to last in the NL Central is 4.5 games total, the margin. And then from first to second, the closest to that is 5.5 games, and that's in the AL Central. So that's just crazy. All right, with the Chicago Cubs with the Minnesota, with Minnesota and, of course, the Minnesota Twins and the Cleveland Indians. So, anyway, in the Central, Chicago right now, the Cubs are leading at 47-44. Then a half game back, we have Milwaukee at 47-44. So, sorry, Chicago with 47-43 and Milwaukee at 47-44. Awesome stuff here, okay? Absolutely awesome stuff between these two teams. Milwaukee is just playing lights out. I mean, great baseball. They're right in this thing. The Cubs are nowhere near trying to let this thing go. They're still a very top-tier team in the NL and in the MLB. And then you have the St. Louis Cardinals at 44-44 at 500. They're only 2 games back. Pittsburgh at 44-45 at 2.5 games back. And then Cincinnati at 41-46 at 4.5 games back. My gosh, this is such a great division to watch. Enjoy it, y'all. Then we have the NL West. The Dodgers, of course, best record in the MLB right now, 60-32. 13.5 games back. We have Arizona at 46-45. The Padres at 45-45. Colorado at 44-45. And San Francisco at 41-48. So that's a brief look there at the standings right now, heading into the All-Star break. And let's go take a quick little look here at this All-Star break coming up, because we have a home run derby to get to, don't we? So this is going to be really exciting. Coming up tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We have the Home Run Derby. Really excited for this one. Let's go ahead and get to our combatants here, to our competitors for today, and let's take a look at who's in this thing. So, let's take a look here. Let's roll on over to ESPN.com and take a look at who's all competing in this sucker today, because it looks to be a pretty good lineup as well. Bregman, I saw, was in there. Alex Bregman of the Astros, and hey, man, another big bat of the league here, so pretty excited for that. And let's see who else. I did see Jock Peterson as well of the Dodgers was in here. So let's take a brief look and see who is where. And okay, here we go. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. It's courtesy of MLB and MLB.NBCSports.com. So, all right, so Chapman, Guerrero Jr., Bregman, of course, as I mentioned, Peterson, Alonso, Santana, Bell, and Acuna Jr. So those are your combatants, so your competitors for tonight. And it'll be just as follows: Chapman versus Guerrero, Bregman versus Peterson on the left side, and on the right side we have Alonso versus Santana, and Bell versus Acuna Jr. So that is it for today, or that is it for this home run derby. Should be a fun one. Let's see who gets this thing done tonight, and of course tomorrow the All-Star break, or the All-Star game. Really looking forward to that one as well. AL, NL, the AL has been on a roll, I think, the last couple of years, so really excited for that. Of course, you can catch that tomorrow on Fox, and it says time to be announced, but yeah, should be a great game as always, and you know me, as an Angels fan, let's go American League. So, with that said, that will be that for some MLB action, and let's go ahead and move it on real quick to a quick topic that I just want to point out, y'all. I am a freaking proud Lakers fan, so excited for my Lakers right now. Let's just say, y'all, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Boogie Cousins. I'm happy, alright? I'm happy. I'm so happy. You know what? We had to fork over a few players to get these guys, but my gosh, what a Anthony Davis that is. Gave away our draft pick, our fourth round. Gave away our fourth overall draft pick and everything. But you know what? It is what it is. Overall, we ended up making out like bandits. I really feel like Boogie Cousins. You know what? I know he was hurt, but hey, man, let's just we can nurse it back to health. Hopefully he's good. So hopefully everything's good with him. AD, man, him and LeBron together is going to be ridiculous. That's going to be awesome to see. We did have to give up. I believe Ingram was in the trade as well as Lonzo Ball. But hey, best luck to those players wherever they went. And yeah, best luck to them moving forward. And also, y'all, Kawhi Leonard going to the Clippers. So hey, I like it, y'all. I like it. You know what? Good. Some good competition there in LA. Good battle right there, sharing the same building. I mean, you know what? Why not? I love it. I think that's absolutely awesome, y'all. So I'm loving the fact that we have, these players, here in LA now, or I'm close to LA, but, here in Southern California. Awesome, because, hey, even more, of course, and let's see. Let's just build this rivalry. Let's build this sucker and really see, I would love that, this to be even more competitive. It would be really neat to see that. And of course, how cool, the Pacific, man. How neat is that for the Pacific? Because now it's we got, the Lakers, of course. But on top of that, Lakers, Clippers, and Golden State Warriors are all in the same exact division. The Pacific. So I love that. To me, this is more competition. It's going to be a really fun league to watch. Something kind of like the NL Central. So really excited about that. Very proud. Very happy for my Lakers. So just wanted to bring that up real quick. We'll be talking NBA Summer League next week with Mr. Kylan Reynolds. We'll get him on the show. We'll be talking some NBA Summer League and kind of some players he's seeing. And Summer League is really cool to jump into. But I'm not going to have time to kind of look at any of that today. And plus, I don't even would know what I'm talking about right now because I haven't paid a lot of attention to it because, lots of craziness here going on, as I mentioned. So let's go ahead and jump on in to a little bit of NWSL and MLS. And after that, we will get into our interview with Mr. Mike Nolas Sr. As I mentioned, we recorded yesterday. Such a cool interview. Like I said, I'll tell you a little bit more about it before we start the interview. But real fast, let's go ahead and jump into some soccer real fast. Some club soccer now. So the NWSL, the National Women's Soccer League, such a great league. I love this league, and it's kind of crazy because it's kind of like right now. Not everybody, but there are players who aren't on these active teams right now because of the Women's World Cup. So, kind of neat to see what they're doing without their stars. You know what I mean? So, it's pretty cool. So I don't know who plays for who, my bad. But I do know that it's a great league to get to. And let's take a look at the last week, shall we? So, on the 5th, we had 2 games on Saturday. On the 5th. Last week we had 2 games, and on the 6th, on Saturday, we had 2 games. So, on Friday, we have the North Carolina Courage just doing it again. Miss Angela Winstead's team. She's a part of our PR department. She works for them, so awesome stuff there. So, 5-2, they defeat the Dash. Big game there at home. And then the Thorns drop one on the road to the Reign. Of course, Seattle and Portland. Awesome job there. That's the Cascadia Cup, I believe, between Portland Timbers and the Sounders. So I don't know if they have one like that with women's soccer. But regardless, it's that rivalry no matter what. I want the Supersonics back, in my opinion. Let's get that Trailblazers Supersonics rivalry back. It would be awesome. I love that. That Oregon-Seattle rivalry is always cool. So, anyway, so that was on Friday. And on Saturday, we had the Pride defeating the Spirit 4-3. And the Sky Blue FC defeating the Red Stars 2-1. So, the current standings look a little something like this. Is courtesy of the ESPN Score Center app. We have, let's see here, the Reign right now. Look at this. All right, Seattle Reign, or Reign FC, at 11-5, looking pretty good here. They have 20 points. North Carolina Courage, the defending champions, with 19 points. Portland with 19 points. Washington with 18 points. Utah with 17 points. Chicago with 14 points. Houston with 13 points. Orlando with 8 points. And Sky Blue FC with 5 points. So that's how it looks right now in the current table of the NWSL. And there you have it. Also, here we have, coming up for this week. Let's see if we can find something good for this week in the NWSL. Well, let's see if we can get a pretty good game going on here and see who's who. So let's see if we can get a pretty good little battle going on, because you gotta love it when you can get some, first versus second or something kind of like that. I don't know. I love those types of games. Those are always neat, because there's so much on the line. But coming up on Friday, Sky Blue and the Royals. So it's kind of midway, and then won his last place. Courage in the Reign. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. First place ticket on second place. That's what I was looking for. That's coming up Saturday. We're gonna hopefully try and cover that one here on iSports Radio on Twitter. But 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Great game there. Kirk's taking on the Rain. Then the Dash taking on the Red Stars. And then on that Sunday, we have the Thorns versus the Pride. So there you have it with the NWSL. Certainly look out for that Rain versus Courage game. That's going to be quite the battle. So looking forward to that. Next up here, in the MLS, we had quite the game this past weekend. I mean, seriously. Miss Angela was covering it, and this game was as crazy as the Angels and Astros game. Like, seriously, this was insane, all right? So, Atlanta taking on the Red Bulls, the New York Red Bulls, and this just happened to be, like, a freakish game, okay? 10th minute of the game, Justin Meram, or Meram, I believe, M-E-R-A-M, will score the first goal, 10 in the 10th minute, okay? So, it's 1-0 Atlanta. Then, Daniel Royer, in the 37th minute, will score for the Red Bulls. It is 1-1. So 1-1 at the half. Then we get into this absolute craziness. Brian White will score in the 60th minute, putting up the Red Bulls 2-1. After that, there's a penalty kick. Joseph Martinez will score in the 79th minute, and it's now 2-2 with 11 minutes to go. Then, in stoppage time, 91st minute, Joseph Martinez scores again. Not a penalty this time. This scores a regular goal, and it's 3-2 Atlanta United. And after that, in the 93rd minute, in stoppage time, Bradley Wright Phillips will score, and it's 3-3. Stoppage time is called. I don't know how much stoppage time they had, but that's it, and it's a draw. I mean, seriously, you can't make this crap up. You can't script something like that. That was what a game. And that's like that's awesome. Total game of the week material. Also, 2 days ago, a few days back on the 4th of July, Zlatan Ibrahimovic will score, man, doing it big here versus Toronto FC in the 75th minute and in the 89th minute. 2-0 victory for the Galaxy on the 4th of July, so definitely a big game there. So coming up, let's take a look at the table and look at the top 5 in the East and in the West, shall we? So, we have here in first to 5th in the East, we have, let's see. All right, so Philadelphia with 36 points, DC United with 31, Atlanta with 30, and Montreal with 30, and NYCFC with 29, all right? After that, in the Western Conference, LAFC with 43, the LA Galaxy with 34. We need to catch up, Galaxy. Seattle with 32, Minnesota with 30, and Dallas with 29. So that's how it looks right now in the current each of those conferences. So let's move on over to this coming week and see. We got some pretty good games coming your way. Don't see anything on Friday, for darn sure. Let's see here on to and Saturday's kind of and Sunday. All right, we got the Derby, the New York Derby. I forgot what they called it, the Hudson River Rivalry. I think it was the Hudson River Rivalry. But this is going to be a battle. NYCFC taking on the New York Red Bulls. Awesome stuff there. They're going to paint the town red, or they're going to paint the town blue. Let's see. In the East right now, NYCFC, as I mentioned, is currently 5th place with 29 points, but 6th place is right there. The New York Red Bulls with 28. And of course, as you know, the top 6 go from each division in the playoffs. So if this was a playoff type of battle, both these teams would be in it. But depending on what happened with Toronto, because they're right behind with 23, well, they wouldn't. But I'm just saying, both teams would get in if this was a playoff scenario. But still, that's awesome. We've got a rivalry going on here. It's for 5th place now because, well, no, it's not for 5th place. Yeah, there is it is for 5th place because if they draw, of course, they won't get a point. But if the Red Bulls win this thing, they will overtake and go over NYCFC for 5th place. So there you go. And if NYCFC wins it, they can actually jump. Wow, look how close the East is. If the Red Bulls win this thing, they can jump over 2 teams and become, 3 teams. They will jump over 3 teams. Look how that is awesome. If the Red Bulls win, they get 3 points. They'll have 31, meaning that they will now jump over Atlanta, Montreal, NYCFC. However, of course, it depends on if they win or not, too. But it will jump them up at least over NYCFC. So that's pretty awesome. Okay. If NYCFC wins and DC United, Atlanta, and Montreal all lose, well then NYCFC is going to find themselves in 2nd place. So, just saying, or depending on, once again, hit me applause. applause button out of nowhere, y'all. My bad. But I guess there was a need for an applause there because this is quite the rivalry. Get ready, y'all. NYCFC, New York Red Bulls going down this weekend. You don't want to miss it. So, I'm ready for that one. So, real quick, too, I forgot we're going to jump into some WNBA real fast here because, hey, my Sparks got it done yesterday, y'all. How about them Sparks? Now, that should be where the applause was at. But the Sparks getting down. You know me, I'm a big Sparks fan. Those ladies are awesome. So, yesterday, let me see here. Let's go ahead and jump on over to the WNBA and talk a little bit about those ladies before we go ahead and jump on into my interview with Mr. Mike Nalas Sr. from yesterday. So, we have here, where in the heck is it? The WNBA section, here it is. So, yesterday, by the way, Sparks taking on the Wings tomorrow. So, Sparks got it done, though, taking out the Mystics 98-81. Great job there, ladies. Also, Aces over the Liberty 90-58. Sky over the Wings 70-66. And the Mercury over the Dream 65-63. That was all yesterday. So, and on Saturday, the Lynx will defeat the Sun 74-71. And then we'll go back to Friday. Let's see. What do we have on Friday? Well, it still says halftime for Mystics and Aces. Mystics leading 51-36 at the half. Apparently on Friday, so I don't know if they updated that or not. But it says the Fever defeated the Wings 76-56. Liberty over the Mercury 80-76, and the Dream over the Storm 77-66. So, take a look at the overall standings here right now. We'll take a look at the, let's see here, all of the, where are we at? Okay, here we are. So, in the conferences, we'll take a look at every one of them. So, in the East, we have Washington at 9-4, Connecticut at 9-5, Chicago at 7-7, New York at 7-8, Indiana at 6-9, and Atlanta at 3-10. Moving on over the West, Las Vegas, brand new team here, getting down at 9-5. Minnesota, they're gonna look like the Golden Knights. Just saying, they're gonna run it in their first year, and maybe they might win it. We'll see. But we have Minnesota at 8-6, the Sparks at 7-6, Seattle at 8-8. Phoenix at 6-6, and Dallas at 4-9. So let's take a look here coming up for this weekend, and let's see what we got because we might have another good little battle coming up here. So let's see here. Let's take a look at some of these top teams going head to head. I don't really see too much this week. Actually, there's really nothing. Sparks and Fever. Well, that's not even a. Yeah, I don't see too much right now with top teams going head to head. I mean, Wings and Storm. Actually, no, Dallas is dead last. So they're last in the on Saturdays. So yeah, I don't see much there. And here we go. I knew we were gonna find one of them. Washington, first place in the East, taking on first place Las Vegas in the West. Aces at Mystics, Saturday, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's the game of the week for sure out there. We gotta make sure we cover that on Twitter, but that should be pretty good. First place. Let's see who gets down this week, alright? So, anyway, y'all, with that said, we're gonna go ahead and move on now over to our interview from this past week because this is a fun one. It's a 15-minute interview, so we're only going to have about 10 minutes left when we get back on to speed through the rest of our the show. But I just want to say, this is an awesome interview. Seriously, this is absolutely awesome. Could possibly be the future, a future spinoff of the NFL. But just so you know, this is really neat. My boy, man, Mr. Mike Nalas Sr. Played semi-pro with him. You'll hear kind of the story of how we met playing semi-pro a couple years ago, but he's he helped organize a league. I think he's the co-commissioner or the commissioner, but I think he's a co-commissioner because he was giving props to one of his boys who's helped him out with it. But super cool thing, and honestly, it's something that I'm even considering. Why? Because this could really help out sharpen your skills. So let me know what you think, y'all. This is a different type of thing here. 7-on-7, no pads, flag football. Full-on league, 9 teams, 2 seasons, 1 in spring, 1 in summer, maybe less injuries. I'm just saying. It's a really neat interview, y'all. So, on the other side of this break, you will catch my exclusive interview with Mr. Mike Nalas Sr. and his group, SoCal7. Check it out, y'all. If you're interested, check it out, SoCal7, y'all. It's Facebook, and I think they have a Instagram page as well, but I don't know. I didn't ask, but I know they're on Facebook. So anyway, y'all, with that said, I will be out for a little bit. Enjoy the interview, and I'll see you when we get back. Once again, you're listening to The Defining Moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Lopan, they didn't even want you. Heck, they didn't even want me. But you know what? Right about now, they have no choice. Looking for the real sports talk? Talk that's for us, the people? Look no further. The Wait a Minute Show, a prime time sports comedy cocktail that tucks you in at night. Join me and Lopan Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 2livestewsradio.com and Saturday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the waitaminuteshow.com. Sounds like a plan to me. Ain't that right, Lopan? Indeed.
My NBA college basketball fans out there, tired of hearing about just the dramatic stuff in the basketball world, tired of hearing about what such and such reward tonight and not about the game? Hey, leave all of that alone, because on Wednesday nights I got this show called Fast Break with Phil Jones here on the IE Sports Radio. And all we talk about is straight basketball, from where it comes down to the NBA, the NCAA, and even the WNBA. I don't discriminate. I give all my NBA, my basketball, whatever you want with sports, to the slam dunks, to the three-pointers, to the teardrops, to the game winners. I'm there. I'm speaking about it. I have a debate. I have my panel. I got a squad that rolls in. And we're going to be talking mad sports. We're going to be talking about the Lakers. We're going to be talking about even the Brooklyn Nets. We're going to be talking about who's the top team out there in the NBA. So, tired all the drama. Tired all the... What he wear today? What kind of shoes he had? Forget all that. Just come over. Fast Break with Phil Jones here on IE Sports Radio every Wednesday night at 8 Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time, y'all. So, yo, tune in.
Welcome back, IE Sports Radio listeners. How's it going, y'all? It's me, your boy Larry B, bringing it to you here. As I mentioned in the introduction of today's show, we had an interview yesterday with a former teammate of mine from a few years back playing semi-pro football, and this is a really neat... I'm really glad we get to have him on the show here today because he brought to my attention something that really could be the future, maybe not the future of football, but a future professional spin-off of American football that is actually really interesting and something that I'm really, I'm trying to grasp at the moment to try and think, wow, like, you look at the idea and you may not think it's very popular, but from what I've heard from him so far, it actually is pretty popular and pretty interesting, and I think there's a good amount of guys that want to get involved, and I'm sure, even... maybe even the ladies, there could be even a women's league coming up with this type of concept. And it is the concept of 7-on-7 football. Now, anybody else out there who may be a former or a current football player, you do know a thing or two about 7-on-7. And, of course, that's just the skills out there throwing around the ball. And it's funny because you think, well, it's just a way to get ready, we want to get an offense ready. But interestingly enough, my buddy Mike here actually has a league that he, I think, formed or helped form, and really neat concept here, and, well, it's actually very competitive. So, without further ado, that is the introduction for this segment, and as I mentioned in the introduction, this is going to be a really neat segment to kind of maybe get the wheels turning on a future form of possibly professional football. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome me in here today. As I mentioned also in the introduction, this was a recorded interview from yesterday, Sunday, July 7th, 2019. Today, of course, is Monday, July 8th, 2019, but this is from yesterday afternoon. But once again, very glad to have him here today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in one of my former teammates from back in the day. We used to play semi-pro a few years ago together, and really neat to have him here today to talk about his league now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome him, the one and the only, Mike Milas Jr. Senior. How's it going, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, man, appreciate you having me on the show, man. How's it going?
Hey, brother, you're very, very welcome. Glad to have you here. My bad for saying junior instead of senior. My
So I am a junior too, though, so it's okay.
Okay, well, see, I'm a junior myself, so see, we're good, man. So with that said, Mike, hey, brother, it's a pleasure to have you on the show, man. Thank you for making some time for us here today.
Always, man, always.
So, with that said, I mean, you heard the introduction and everything I had to say about your league, Mike. I mean, first things first, you as a football player, you know, you and I are right on the same age bracket. We've been around the game for a long time. We've both been playing. You've probably been playing maybe longer than myself if you played when you were younger. I know my first football game ever was my freshman year in high school. So, I mean, I don't know if you've been playing before high school, but I got to tell you.
Yeah, I've been playing a little bit before then.
Yeah, man. See, so you've been around this game quite a lot, you know, and most recently you I don't want to say you stepped away from it because you didn't, but you took off the pads and kind of went to the form of no pads. You can call it a flag football league if you like, but Mike sent me a video earlier that I really want to put on social media because it's really neat. It is actually organized 7-on-7. There are flags, of course, to tell where you're down, but what a really neat concept you got going on here. I understand you guys are now in your second season. You had the first season, and really, I just think that this is it's a neat thing. Before we get to that, Mike, let's go ahead and take a step back and just kind of go through that journey of you as an athlete, starting things off. Maybe you played some other sports, but you as a football player all the way up to, when you started playing semi-pro or maybe even any type of other professional football before that, and then what kind of led to you playing, you helping organize or organizing this actually you got going on here now to where you are at the moment and where you are kind of going with the game in your future. So, Mike, go ahead, man. Start us off with your beginning here as a football player.
Okay, yeah, man. I started playing football, at a very young age, and always loved it. I wasn't always the best when I started out, but my dad always instilled confidence in me. I started off as a D-end, wasn't too much of an athlete. Then got better on, became more of an athlete, became a running back, set records in Pot 1 and went on to high school, did some big things in high school. Went to junior college at Chafee College, ended up transferring there to Preston College in Tennessee. It's an NCAA Division II, and then went from there. Went to NAIA University in Kentucky, and then that's when me and Larry hooked up in semi-pro. And from semi-pro, I played a couple years. I was very happy with it. The competitiveness of it. But there's one thing that really got to me about semi-pro, and it was really getting hurt. Putting my body on the line, knowing that I still have to go to work the next day or that week, what I'm saying? Like, I really have to put food on the table. I couldn't be taking so much time off from the game. So I really took time away from the game, stepped back, and I started playing some of these flag leagues out here, some 5-on-5 flag leagues and stuff like that. And I got real frustrated because me as an athlete playing football my whole life, I want to be a little bit more physical. I wanted to put on a little bit more open field. It was so small. It was so tight. It just wasn't meant for a person like me or athletes that were like me. So, then I took some more time off and I just kind of sat back, and I just, I coached for a while, and then going through that, I'm looking like, man, I still want to play, and then I talked to a couple of friends of mine and we sat down, a buddy of mine, Terrence, was senior. We sat down and we thought about some things, and we thought about, man, what can we do? It started off as just a football 7-on-7 tournament. That's what we wanted to do. And went from there and just talking to people like, man, you guys should think about doing a league, man. We would join a league or something like that. So we sat down, we hopped in the lab, and we sketched out some rules. How can we follow the game of football but be safe at the same time? So we sat down, we started making some rules, some bylaws, and everything else, and we came up with this 7-on-7. And man, the first season we only had about 6 teams. But they were so hungry for it, they wanted, as soon as the season ended, they wanted another season. So we stepped up and had another season as quickly as possible, and now we had 9 teams. And we're just going from there. The players love it, owners love it, players want more. Some of them want 2 games in a day. Some of them want a 16-game season. We're trying to give it to them all, but, we only have so much time.
Well, first things first, Mike. This is, man, where's that applause button, man? You definitely, I know you can't hear it, but the applause button has been hit, man. But, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Mike Nolas Jr., man, senior. I keep on saying junior, senior, but he said he is a junior as well. So, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this right here is remarkable. Why is this something that's remarkable? Well, listen up. Because it's revolutionary, okay? Kind of what we're doing here at IE Sports Radio. I mean, everyone, that's been listening, our story, but been around for 5 years now, and hey, things are going well. We got our website now. We're really proud of that and excited. We got a PR department now. Things are going really, are pretty neat, and it's something it's revolutionary. And, every now and then somebody comes up and makes a swift little change somewhere along the lines, and, well, guess what? Now it becomes something that's pretty big because the popularity may build. So that right there is podcasting itself. Or even if on the stage of sports, like playing sports. Arena football was never, of course it all came from American football. Where did American football come from? Rugby, so it's like, there's different forms of it. 7-on-7, footy, maybe not, I don't know, the AFL, the Australian Football League, the Footy League, that's quite the different story, but I don't know if that's a form of rugby or American football, but there's a lot of stuff going on in footy. But I will tell you, certainly a really neat game, just, it's pretty crazy, that's all. But there's certain aspects of the game that will relate to football. But there's lots of different ways to play this game. And it's really neat because, as I said earlier, 7-on-7 is something that we, in high school, I remember going to 7-on-7 tournaments. It's just something to get you ready for the actual season. But, you wouldn't think of it, or at least I wouldn't think of this as some kind of, competitive type of, it's very competitive no matter what, 7-on-7, but it's competitive to where it is, it's competitive, but it is safe. Now, are there injuries? I'm sure there are. It's a sport, and anywhere you're playing, any type of sport, there's always a chance of injury. However, with the bang of the pads every week, this, you can say, is just, a tad safer. Once again, it's still, I'm sure, Mike can attest for this. Yes, I am sure we can vouch for this. He is, I'm sure that there are injuries and bumps and bruises, of course, that come with the game as well, but maybe not to the extent of having the pads on. And if there were to, well, hey, things happen, but at the same exact time, and once again, not saying that football is completely 100% unsafe. I remember reading a thing back in high school saying that tennis is actually the most injury, like the nastiest injury out there, like different, in sports. And that makes sense because of the tennis elbow and your joints and everything giving out on you. And football actually wasn't even like in the top 5 or top 10 or something like that, American football. But I will tell you right now that 7-on-7, a lot can come with that as well. But it's a really competitive game because from what Mike sent me this video, and I was watching it, And it's very competitive. These guys are out there playing. It's just like football. And now, real quick, Mike, I'm going to kind of throw a different direction here. I don't know if you've ever seen this, man. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but I remember watching, somebody told me to watch this one day, and I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's something that I only watched once because of this, but it's a series on, I think, HBO or Cinemax called Vice. Are you familiar with that, Mike?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
Okay. Well, it's actually, they do like documentaries and everything, and there was this one documentary that they did on a football league in New York that is full-on tackle, zero pads. Like, they're playing as if they were in pads, just without pads. And these guys are getting popped. But oddly enough, Mike, the injuries is kind of weren't there. Like, there wasn't a lot of head injuries because these guys were hitting but getting their head out of the way, a lot like you would in rugby. Now, when you have a helmet on, as we play American football, well, sometimes you use it, and that's where injuries can happen. Now, I'm not trying to say that head injuries can't happen in rugby or in that league in New York or even in your 7-on-7 league. Hopefully, I hope that no head injuries happen to anybody, but I'm just saying that it can happen. Now, going with your league now, one time I heard that league in New York is actually safer than the NFL or pads because you're trying to get your head out of the way, and I just thought that was pretty interesting. So, real quick, Mike, just give your thoughts on that. Like, think about that, man. Totally no pads, and these guys are out there hitting, but it's safer than football with pads on? Like, what's your take on that, Mike?
My take on that is it's pretty much correct, because when you have a helmet on, most players want to use that helmet because of the cushion on the inside, and they use it as a weapon. But without that helmet, we also know that the brain in our head is the most sensitive part of our body, so we're trying to get that out the way. So, I could see that, but me, personally wise, like, man, I'm 30-plus years old, man. That's an 18 to 25-year-old sport right there, man. Out there with no pads, running like that. I ain't got that in me. I don't know who got that in them right now at 30-plus years old, but playing 7-on-7 what we play, man, you can go out there and play a full game in a full season and come away with less injuries.
And see, that's exactly a perfect segue. We're moving right into the 7-on-7 league now. And now we're talking about a league where there is no hitting, it's flag, but it's so much technique, it's so much speed, it's kind of like you got to be a little more precise, Mike, from what I could see out there. I mean, with no pads on, and of course not trying to get hurt, but still playing extremely competitive, it's a little bit more like you would be playing in basketball. Now, everything's got to be a lot more precise. Yes, you can test for the ball, but that ball's got to be like on the money. Those hands got to be right there. I mean, everything's got to be so precise to even avoid injury. So let's go ahead and just jump into the league now, Mike, because I'm telling you, I'm really excited to talk about how you got this whole thing going. So now that we got Mike's background, and we got a little background of where football with, no pads or kind of going into a league like this kind of sprouted from, or at least my take on that. Let's go ahead and jump onto this league. So, Mike, the floor is yours, man. Go ahead and kind of, you've already brought us to what you feel or how you came up with the philosophy of having this league. You just didn't want to get hurt. You have a family to look after, and that's totally understandable. But Mike, the floor is yours, man. Enough of me yapping here. Go ahead, Meg. Talk about every little bit of what went into your thoughts of developing this league, kind of how it works, how you guys get players. Do you recruit? How do you do that? You're up to 9 teams now. What does a typical season look like? How many games are in a season? How many seasons are in a year? I mean, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Mike, like I said, man, the floor is yours. Go on ahead and educate everybody on how your 7-on-7 league works.
All right, man. First of all, I'm going to give a shout-out to my boy, Ken Sheen Senior, man. If it couldn't be possible without him, that's my right-hand man. So, getting started, man, the league is folks, we just started off last year putting a video out there, to seeing how many people do that. We shot a video, a little introductory video. We had a couple guys come out, some actors, some football players, and come out and just ran a series of 7-on-7 plays that we would expect to see during the season. It hit off great with a lot of people. So we got, and that's just mainly how we started, which was all Facebook. It was all Facebook and word of mouth. And that's how we got started. And then as the league developed, people ask about the league, what's this, what's that? We tell them, like, man, we use a full 100-yard field. You can come in here and be an athlete. Be the best athlete you can. If you're looking to even polish your craft, if you're a quarterback, man, you got to be spot on with your passes. You have 4 seconds to throw the ball. If you're a running back, man, and you're trying to play better or even get your film, like the film we put out or the film that I showed you was a drone footage. Most leagues out there, semi-pro leagues or even flag leagues out there, don't put the drones in the air. We put the drones out there so the guys can get great footage, and we put those out there for the game of the week. So if you're on the game of the week, you're going to get drone footage. And we send that to you, so you can use that to go ahead and send out to scouts or make your own highlights or do what you want to do. But we let our athletes be athletes. We don't try and take away from the game. If you're a kickoff return, we have kickoff returns. We've only seen 1 or 2 kickoff returns in both seasons so far. But those are 100-yard kickoff returns on flags. You don't see that in the regular flag leagues. We have interceptions. We take stats. There's picks. There's big picks. There's a 7-point touchdown. If you score a touchdown over 50 yards, that's 7 points. And then we also have extra point conversions, which can be 1 point, 2 points, or 3 points. Take it from the 5, 10, or 15-yard mark. We allow 7 guys to be on the field. The center is eligible. There's 2 blitzes per quarter, 2 timeouts per half. I can kind of go on and on. Let me give a shout out to the teams. The elite right now, they're 4-0 in the league. Dogtown is 3-1. Some great players out there. We actually have some great players out there. I think we have a couple of ex-NFL players that played out there. Clarence Lancer, he played for the Jets. Gary Walker, he played for the Baltimore Ravens. We have some college athletes out there that play for Victor Valley College. We have a couple guys out there who came back from their universities. They're done playing football, but they continue to play this game. One guy from Arizona State and a couple guys from Arizona University. Then we got, I just want to say that our league is for everybody. So I know you touched on it earlier in the introductory about saying there could be a female league. Well, we actually have a female that plays on the team, and the team name is Flightbush, and her name is Bianca. So big shout out to Bianca and her team, the Flightbush, for coming out there and playing. She makes big plays. She's trying to stay in shape for her soccer season. I don't know, man. Hop in, help me out, man.
Hey, man, I just want to let you get everything out because that is incredible. Okay, so what we got so far, y'all, I love this, okay? I'm just sitting here going, wow, because look at this. You got... the format is there. That's cool. You go 2, 3-point conversion. That is super neat. You got that going on. You've got, like I said, organized teams. You got a woman out there balling out. Why? Because she wants to stay in shape for soccer, of course, as we're talking about in today's show. Women's soccer, of course. I mean, the USA knows a thing or two about that. Ladies taking it home earlier today, getting it done. So, as you can see, soccer, a growing sport. And this right here, I love that about sports is each sport can kind of help you out with the next. So it's kind of neat to get a little bit of everything. Be a renaissance person out there and learn more sports, get better at, because it can just help you at another sport. So that's really neat. You talk about tight ends who used to be basketball players. Antonio Gates never even played college football, but he became one of the best tight ends to ever play the game. Why? Because he can go up and get the ball and box out. I mean, that is awesome to think that you got somebody, in your league, and on top of that, she's a girl that's out there balling out. Why? Because she's getting in shape for soccer, and I'm sure she's fast. So, hey, soccer and speed just kind of go hand in hand. So that's really neat, man. Of course, there's no hits going on, so women, of course, can get involved. And like I said, women's a league because, one day it could potentially, there could be, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, there's kind of a, what are we calling that? Kind of like a barrier busted there a little bit. I'm not the biggest, I'm all about women's sports. I think everyone on here knows that I am a big promoter of all women's sports. I love women's sports. I'm a huge Sparks fan. I love the NPF. I cover, of course, Women's March Madness. I mean, I can just go on and on with women in sports, but There's certain things where I just feel like, okay, in American football, I'm not trying to say a girl can't ball out, but I mean, hey, she gets hit, she gets hit. I mean, it's just that I'm just saying it's a little tough for certain sports like that. There's a reason why you don't put a woman boxer in a ring with a man. I mean, or MMA fighter. I'm not trying to say women can't hold their own, but we're just engineered differently now. I mean, women wants to get involved in that, that's okay, but it's kind of whatever happens, and that kind of sucks. In this type of league, you don't really got to worry about that because she's not, I mean, hey, I'm sure you guys get some kind of hits out there, and there are some things that can, I'm sure I've seen a couple players go to the ground watching your video from the drone, and, I'm sure that, yeah, you got your bumps and bruises as usual, but once again, nothing like as if it would have been, American football with pads. And also, I want to touch on the drone. That is so cool, man. I mean, I really like that because, yes, you are helping getting film. And in today's day and age, you know as well as I do, Mike, being around this game long enough, man, film is everything. If you got it, the coaches will look at you. And now in this day and age of social media, look what we're doing right now, Mike. We're promoting your league on this broadcast. Why is that possible? Because technology. So, I mean, right now, we just got so much going on with, technology and getting outlets here and there that, well, that drone footage is pretty dang, it comes in very handy, very useful for your players in your league. So that's really neat, Mike. That's really cool so far to hear all those things going on. Now, let's go ahead and get to the seasons. You said you have 9 teams right now. So on those 9 teams, how many players are active? Do they have a deadline where you guys can't bring any more players on? Do you guys have I mean, I'm sure there's like a kind of like semi-pro. You can just kind of decide, or where you want to go, or are there contracts, or is it just something that's very simple? I'm sure it's like not like a money thing, but I'm just talking about like, okay, well, this player's going to play at this team, this player's going to play at this team for however long, or is it kind of just like semi-pro where you can just decide where you want to go? Doesn't matter when, midway through the season, or whenever, or you have to stay with that team throughout the season. And of course, I do want to know. How many seasons are there in a year and how many weeks? And on top of all of that, kind of, where do you guys get these players? I know you guys, have your social media and everything, but I know it's also probably word of mouth. But yeah, man, I know it's a whole bunch of stuff I guess threw at you there, but go ahead and jump on into the game and kind of how that whole thing works with how these players are kind of brought on and, everything else, I guess, pretty much mentioned.
Yeah, so we have 9 teams in the league, so we run an 8-week regular season, and then it's going to be a 16 playoffs with the first 2 teams having a bye. But there's 20 men. There's 20 men to a roster. The roster is like locked week 5, but there is no player that can play for 2 teams. You have to establish yourself with 1 team. But you do have the opportunity to leave that team and play for another team as long as the owners know that, he's dropping you from his roster and that owner, tells us that he's adding you to their roster. And we go by that. But a lot of our players, they do this season come from a lot of semi-pro. And they're coming to check that out. But most of them come from a lot of 5-on-5 leagues. They're transferring over to the 7-on-7. To the 7-on-7 leagues, and that's how we've been getting them. Just Facebook and hitting them up. We post everywhere. We post on all type of social media group pages, from semi-pro to Temecula, buy, sell, trade. We post to everything and everywhere, trying to branch out and get as many people as we can. We're trying to cast our net as far as possible. We're trying to make this league be as big as possible.
This is really neat.
We have. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry about that, man. I didn't want to cut you off there. What were you saying?
I was about to say I was going to tap in on your how many seasons per year.
Yes.
So right now we're looking at, since it is our second season right here, we're looking at probably just doing a spring and summer season because of all the football that happens in the fall. With NFL, college, semi-pro, Pop Warner. We love football, so we want everybody else to enjoy football. We just want to have that chance for them when the football season is over with, and come relive your dream with us. Come play out your Odell Beckham with us. Come play out your, Cam Newton with us. Come be them guys over here. Come do your Tony Dungy, Marvin Lewis, That was, come be them coaches over there with us. Come bring your game plans over there with us. Come bring your Madden skills, whatever you think is going to help you over there with us. If you're just trying to stay in shape, man, come see us in the summer and spring seasons. That's when football is just all about training and getting ready for that fall season or getting ready for them fall sports.
Mike, as you were saying that, I was thinking the same dang thing, because I'm not the kind of cat that, I don't know, man, some of these guys can. I mean, it's not that I can't, but, I mean, me playing, of course, a full padded season from August all the way to November, I mean, yeah, the fall is the fall, and truth be told, these spring leagues, I don't know, it's a spring league. I mean, they go January to April or whatever it is, and it's like, man, like, I work hard to keep myself in shape and healthy throughout the fall. And as well as I do, Mike. I mean, playing for so long in, padded football, no matter if it was high school or college. I mean, you mentioned you played in D2 in the NCAA, and you played in the NAIA, then you played, and that's where we met in semi-pro. But, I mean, you think about it, and it's like, you got to give your body some kind of rest, and you got to, not be taking the bumps and bruises and the bang, bang, all of that all the time. And I always thought to myself, like, I never said nothing bad about nobody playing in the spring, but man, it just wasn't for me. I didn't ever want to play in a spring league because I wanted to play, of course, only in the fall and get myself in shape throughout the rest of the year. And I feel like year league actually really allows that, but the same thing, 7-on-7 is made to compete. 7-on-7 is something that was made, like passing leagues and all that, in high school. I don't know if when that was made or how it was made. I don't know if it was made professional. I don't know the history of 7-on-7, but I do know that, it's something that as well as I do. It helps you get better, especially, if you're a skill position, of course, no line involved there. But I think this is really neat because it can really help out an athlete get better. For instance, I was even thinking right now, no joke, man, like myself, Mike, no joke, man. Me as a defensive end / linebacker, I am a blitzer, I am a pass rusher all day long, but my skills got to sharpen. I mean, I just turned 30 a couple months ago. My window's getting real small to make any type of professional team, and I'm working really hard on that. But I'm just, as I told you earlier, man, no matter what happens, I'm just playing right now until, as long as God allows me to play this game, I'm going to always play it because I love it. You love it. It's just what we do, man. So, God willing, there's no serious injuries for me down the line or anything. Please God, don't let that happen to me, or Mike or anybody else out there, playing any type of sport or anything. But I just feel this is really cool because it gives you a competitive, you said spring in the summer. No joke, Mike. I will be looking into this myself for next year because I want to sharpen my coverage skills. I really want to, I love that. And this gives you a chance to play very competitively because it's a league. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, you get a really good chance to kind of just take off the pads and focus on, like seriously, I feel like this can really benefit. Like, I'm dead serious, Mike. I am really considering this for next spring because I would love this. Play a full-on season this year, and then get out there, keep on training through December, keep training through January, and I mean, I don't know when you guys start in your spring, but that'd be really neat to get out there and, sharpen up my coverage skills playing outside or middle linebacker against some really, some speedsters out there. I mean, it's a lot, you mentioned there are blitzes, but the game is kind of focused more around coverage, and this could really help somebody like me I'm decent at coverage, but I will be the first one to tell you that I'm the run stuffer and the hitter, but the coverage part is kind of where I struggle. So I feel like it would be such a big benefit for somebody like myself or anybody out there who kind of feels the same way, or even if you're just really good at that, just sharpen it up and get out there and compete and just keep on perfecting your craft, because as well as I do, experience is usually the best teacher. And if you're competing out there in this type of league, it's going to help you get better in pads. So really, Mike, that is a really neat thing. And I'm glad you brought that up. And this is something I'm actually considering myself now.
Yeah, that's one thing we wanted. We would like other teams, like say even semi-pro, to get out there and really just focus on, a fall season, and then, maybe you can get better in the off-season by joining SoCal 7-on-7 in the spring and in the summer. And it'll really making your team that much better. Like, because all these teams, they do an off season, you know, they're trying to do their little, 7-on-7s at practice, and guys, they don't want to go to practice, man. They think, I'm too grown, man. Practice, man, that's for the kid. I'm good. But put them in a competitive stage. Make them go play for a championship trophy. Make them go play for that big stage. And I bet you they show up. I bet you they work out. I bet you can install your offense and your defense. Because I've been a part of it last year in coaching the team, and I've installed, a couple ones to man covers to blitzes, and then on the offensive side, running doubles, trips, running draws and options and all that other type of stuff. That comes into the game. Knowing when they use your blitzes in this league. If you're going to coach, you have to be aware of the clock. You have to be aware of your blitzes, how many blitzes you have, or how many blitzes the team did against you. And then also, knowing the playbook, knowing that this play is legal and this is legal. The clock stops when, the clock stops here, and also knowing that the game is never out of reach. Because if you're down by 10 points, and you got the ball back and, you got 50 seconds left on the clock, you got to think, man, if I can score a touchdown over 50 yards, that's 7 points. And then I can go for a 3-point conversion, man, that's 10 points, and I can tie the game up and go to overtime. The game is never out of reach. It's never out of reach, so you got to continue to play. And then as an athlete, like you said, I can come out here and work on my drops, my coverages, running against these slot guys, because they're going to come out, they're going to start off running real routes. They're going to run the slant, they're going to dig, they're going to run the post, they're going to run the combo routes. And then after that, they might get into what they call that, it turns into it's almost like a free-for-all, where the quarterback scrambles, scrambles.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to lock on, stay on as a linebacker and as a corner and as a DB.
Mm-hmm.
And as a wide receiver, the deepest route comes short, the shortest route goes deep, and the mid routes go across. So there's still the football rules and that football knowledge that has to go into the game, so you can't just go out there and just do whatever you want. But that's why it's so great, because there's guys out there who don't want to be physical. We have a guy out there right now who's 40-plus years old. He might be knocking the door on 50, but coming out there making plays. And when I mean big-time plays, he was a candidate and a nominee for being one of the offensive players of the league. And that's big. You know what I'm saying? Because if he was in a regular tackle football league, he's not getting that type of recognition. But out here, he can still live his high school dreams of being that wide receiver he was back then. And he can still save his body, go home, and play with his kids at the end of the day.
Man, that is awesome, because you know as well as I do, that number one, that's awesome. That is incredible. You're right. Go out there, keep playing the game you love as long as you can. That is incredible for that gentleman out there playing. And I wish him all the best in his career moving forward with you guys in that 7-on-7 league. But on top of that, as well as I do, Mike, the same problem. I think, even when we played, man, it's the same type of deal, man. Usually getting the big boys out there to even practice is hard in semi-pro. So I feel like how that goes, man. And bringing out the big boys is kind of a tough thing. I mean, some of them will go out there, and for everyone shows up on game day. But the thing is, usually. But the thing is, Mike, is that this is cool, man, because I'm not trying to say like we're trying to eliminate the line or anything, but I'm just saying that this is really cool because you kind of, you take out that part of the game, and though it is quote unquote a little less physical because of that, like I said, I'm sure it is still pretty physical, but regardless, it's neat because it is even though it is football, you're right. It is football. It is 100% football. It's still football. No matter what, at the end of the day, it's still football. But it's a different kind of branch of football because it's a little different focus. It's a little, you said the game's never out of reach. That's really neat how you guys got the conversions out there. And on top of that, you guys have a very organized season. Like it's something you're playing for. You're not just playing in a park out there just to have fun. Like you're actually, of course, having fun, but you're doing this. It's a league. You guys play for a championship every year, or the seasons that you play in the spring and in the summer. So it's like it's a different spin off football, but it's like a like if you were to break up the MMA. Like you got karate, jiu-jitsu, boxing, wrestling. Like it kind of like, you're taking out a little part of here and there, but you're focusing more on this now. So now, like as I mentioned earlier, these routes got to be a little more crisp. These, because there's no contact, these balls got to be a little more precise. So I feel like, honestly, the concept of 7-on-7 anyway is supposed to help you sharpen up those skills without pads to make it even tougher. And I feel like playing in this type of league, I'm just going to go right back to it, Mike, it really does help you sharpen those skills. And that's really neat. You got guys that play semi-pro, but they come out there in the spring and in the summer. And even if there isn't guys, like you said, the older gentleman out there, or you said the female that plays in your group that plays soccer, or that plays in your league that plays soccer, I think that's really cool because no matter what, you come here, you play, you all ball out together, you play in this league, and then wherever you go after that, you go, but you take what you learned and what you earned. I like that. What you learn and what you earn in the 7.
That's nice.
Right? I mean, it's the truth, man. I mean, it's true. You take that with you from the... Oh, no, Mike, you might as well just put my name down for the spring league, man. Like, I'm so excited for this. Like, this is neat because I really feel like this is so beneficial. And ladies and gentlemen, by the way, if you're listening right now, just tuning in, we're talking to Mr. Mike Nolas Sr. He is from down here in Southern California with myself in the Inland Empire, and he's out there in Fontana. But I mean, look, if you're not in this area, hey, maybe reach out, see if there's a league around you that's something like this. And hey, let us know if you find something like that out there and you're in another state or wherever you are, East Coast, Midwest, wherever you are, let us know, and it'll be great to promote those leagues as well. But if you're over here on the West Coast, in the Southern California area, hey, you know what? This is the plug part coming up right here. I think a lot of you can feel it, but this is where you can reach this league and kind of where you can get involved in it. So first things first, before we give the plugs and where they can find you on social media and reach out to you and all that, Mike, let's go ahead and talk really quick about the teams, and where you play. Is it just one field? Is there traveling involved? Is there different cities involved? How does that all work, Mike?
Oh, yeah. So right now, man, with the 9 teams that we have, we play at one location at the Ralph Lewis Sports Complex in Fontana. It's a great field. They have 4 fields there, but we use one field. With the 9 teams, we play 4 games a day. That's 8 teams. A team has a bye every week. But we have teams from San Diego, a couple teams from LA. We have players from the high desert. We have a player that comes from 29 Palms. We have players in Paris, California, Temecula, Orange County. Players are coming from everywhere to come join this league. And the best thing about this league is you really don't have to practice that much. Most teams, they come and they come to the game, and since there's 4 fields around there, they just show up an hour before the game, and that's when they practice. And then they get to the game, and they run off the wristbands, and they get out there and they play. And that's the beauty of it. We take away the cost for all that. We pay for the cost for referees. We don't put that burden on the owners. We pay for the cost of the fields. We pay for the insurance on the field. We take that away from the owners so that way they can just come there and just play football. Don't worry about the refs, it's covered. Don't worry about the chain crew, it's covered. Don't worry about the media, it's covered. Don't worry about the insurance, it's covered. Just come play football and have fun. Bring your family, bring your friends, and just have fun playing good football for SoCal 7.
You know what, man? I love this. That is awesome. I mean, we're getting close to the end of the interview here, but Mike, I'm going to say, man, that is awesome. You got players come from all over the place. You're right there. So you're in Fontana. You're not, not too far from where I'm at. A lot of you have heard me before talk about me not being too far from Fontana because, of course, the NASCAR track, the Auto Club Speedway is over there as well. So I think some of you listening have heard me say that before, that I don't live too far from Fontana, right here in Riverside, Paris area. But I gotta say, man, this is super neat. I really, really like this what you got going on right now. This seems like such a cool league to get into, no matter if you're just trying to play to live the glory days and play as much as you can, or trying to get professional and you're playing in pads in the fall and you're playing in this league in the spring or in the summer, or in the spring or in the summer, or both. I mean, I'm sure you got players out there who play both, but that is so neat, man. And you know what? I really want to I want to see this. I definitely want to make it out to a game coming up. When do you say your games were?
Our games are always Saturday nights from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Ralph Lewis Sports Complex in Fontana.
Okay.
Every Saturday night until August 31st, and that'll be our championship game.
Okay, well, you know what, then, Mike, I got to make it out to one of these games at least a day, because you said there's 4 games that run, so you get a chance to enjoy 4 football games.
Yeah, 4 competitive games, and we always have a game of the week, which is the most competitive game, and that's when we bring out everything. You know, we're getting ready to have an announcer. After teams set their rosters this week, we'll have an announcer that will do the game of the week each week until the championship.
That's really neat. I've got to make my way out there to one of these weekends on a Saturday night and just enjoy some good football. I really enjoy that. I mean, hey, I could be playing for one of these teams coming up in the spring. I definitely feel like I am, because I really want to help sharpen up my skills and just get better at the game of football. So I really like that myself. And excuse me. And also, Mike, now here comes the big plug. Of course, where they can find you, where they can find all of your social media, because I'm going to be doing the same thing coming up. How they can sign up for teams, how does a player get involved in this league, and on top of that, I definitely myself would like to help promote as well, man, because this is something that's really neat. I really like this idea a lot. I mean, I love this idea. It's really cool. So let's go ahead and jump on into it, Mike. Where can they find your social media pages? Where do they find you guys at? How do they reach you? What's the deal, man?
Okay, man, if you've got our Facebook, you can check us out on Facebook. You can check us out on our main account, which is SoCal7. Spell it out, SoCalSeven. SoCal7 will add you right away, and you can check out all the things we post up. Or if you don't want to add that account, you want to go another way, you can add our group page for our community page, I can say, for SoCal7, and it's just SoCal, SoCal, 7 on 7, which is 7, the number 7, ON, the number 7, League, LEAGE, and you can click on that, look for us on the group page, we'll add you immediately. It is public, and that's where we have all our news, all our teams, owners, players, videos, media, pictures, everything gets put on there. And if you don't have Facebook, you have Instagram, you can follow us on Instagram at SoCal707, SoCal, 7, the number 7, ON, the number 7. Follow us on there. We also put up all our social media up on there, our pictures, videos, comments. We go live. We also go live on Facebook as well, and we talk news about each game and give analysis and stats and game of the week and stand-ins and our own input and opinion on teams. And sometimes we pick the winners and losers, but we try not to have our opinion on that one. But go ahead and look for us on all of that social media right there, man. If you have it.
That is neat. Once again, y'all, Mr. Mike Nalas Sr. I mean, where's an applause button one more time, man? Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Mr. Mike Nalas Sr. This guy right here is the real deal, man. Getting a really cool product out there. Well, another product, I mean, a league, a different type of league out there. And honestly, I feel like this could really turn into something, Mike. I mean, real fast, man. We're in the closing moments here of the interview, but real quick, man. Like, where do you see this league going? What would you like to see it turn into? Do you think this could be a thing one day for actually, a professional type of league? I mean, what do you think personally, Mike?
Personally, I hope to see this league keep growing as it is. I hope we have 9 teams now and hope to have, 16 teams in the spring in 2020, and take up more than one field over at the Ralph Lewis Sports Complex. But we also see this league as something that's growing. There's a league out there in New York, with Mike Vick and Chad Ochocinco and all them, and that 707 going for $1 million. We hope to one day take our champion and challenge each champion in the 707 league, and do something like that. We hope to be on that stage, and not just to have a SoCal 707 league, but maybe a Arizona 707 league, maybe a Vegas 707 league, Orange County, move to Orange County and do one out there, or San Diego do one out there, so that way we can reach more players and give this great product that we have, this great league that we have to everybody, so that way they don't have to travel way to Fontana. We're going to put one close to home, and in Southern California, and also hopefully, from the West Coast to the Midwest to the East Coast, hopefully to the, Canada and beyond, man. We don't plan on stopping.
Hey, it's right, man. Hey, that's exactly what I said about IE Sports Radio, brother. And guess what, man? We're getting out there. So it's the same thing, man, with you guys. This is really neat. It's an active sport. It's going on. It's going down. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, man, where's an applause button at Mike Nolas Sr.? Look, y'all, show him some love. Give him an applause if you're listening to the podcast right now, live or the podcast. Look, man, this is awesome. Check them out. SoCal 7. Your boy Larry B is probably going to be out there in the spring balling out. So I'm looking forward to this. That was a lot of fun, man. That was awesome. Mike, hey, man, any last, any last words you got, comments, concerns? I mean, any of that, shout-outs, anything you want to say here at the end, man?
Man, just give a big shout-out, man, to my partner again, man, Terrence Senior, man. Without you, brother, this couldn't be possible. Another shout-out to my mama. I know a lot of mamas might not be like my mama, because my mama be out there holding the chains for 4 hours, out there holding it down. Big shout out to the compost, man. I know you guys are down right now, 0-4, but you guys are a soccer team that came out here in a transitional sport, man, and play football, man. And keep pushing, man. Keep doing your thing, and man, keep going hard, man. You guys have our support, man. And I know y'all gonna get that W, that first win before the end of the season. Big shout out to the defending champs.
Hey, and who are those defending champs?
The defending champs, they got a crazy little name, but it's called Your Mama's Favorite. Defending champs, Your Mama's Favorite.
I love this. I love this. This league sounds like, you know what, honestly, Mike, this sounds like NFL Street. Remember that game, NFL Street?
You said what?
Remember that game, NFL Street?
Oh, yeah, I remember the game.
Yeah, man, this is what it sounds like. Like, a bunch of creative teams going out there, balling out, having fun, at a park. Like, man, this is awesome. I'm telling y'all, man, this is awesome. Big shout out to Mike's mama out there holding the chains for 4 hours. I mean, that's an applause on its own. Like, she gets her very own applause. That is, man, that's a strong woman, man. She's out there just...
Yes, it is. Every week she's out there doing her thing.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Well, you know what? Hey, big shout out to her and all those teams out there. Mike, man, it was an honor having you on the show today. We took up 50 minutes, but you know what, man? I don't even care. That was a great interview. Had a lot of fun doing it. And, yeah, man, I got to get out there. The sooner, the better. Maybe even this weekend or in the next couple of weeks before, August hits. But I definitely got to get out there, man. It'd be really neat if we don't have a game for my semi-pro team on the 31st. I'd love to get out there and talk, and watch that championship game on August 31st and just, see that whole thing, man. But with that said, that will be that. Mike, hey, man, thanks again for being a part of the show, brother. That was a really fun, really fun segment we did there. And just thanks for promoting your stuff on our network, man.
Oh, man, appreciate it, man. I loved it, man. I love to be on it again and again and again, too. So, anytime.
Hey, I'm looking forward to having you back then. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that is that. We had ourselves a good interview there. Once again, Mr. Mike Nolas Sr. You want to play some 7-on-7 football? You know where to go, y'all. SoCal 7. Check him out. Facebook. You know the drill. You know the deal. There it is, y'all. So, with that said, that will conclude this segment. When we get back, we are going to go ahead and jump on into the wild world of craziness out there. All these crazy sports going on. As I mentioned, we got so much more to get into today's show. Lots more. I mean, we're going to be everywhere, as I mentioned already earlier, y'all. In the introduction, lots of crazy sports happening and lots of awesomeness is going on this past weekend, of course, and then jumping on into what's coming up for this week. Y'all know the drill. So with that said, y'all, this is me, your boy Larry B, signing off for Mr. Mike Nolas Sr. and for myself. When we get back, we'll get back to more sports right here, y'all. You're listening to The Defining Moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Attention, all sports fans! If you're someone who wakes up each morning with lists of sporting events to go along with your to-do list for the day, then you just might be a diehard. The world of sports is as vast as the ocean is deep, including the major leagues, the minor leagues, the college, and everything in between. This is me, your boy Larry B of IE Sports Radio, welcoming you to join me every Monday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on The Defining Moment, a show that focuses on what really matters in the sports world, sports themselves, and nothing outside of them. Once again, tune in for The Defining Moment with me, your boy Larry B, every Monday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on IE Sports Radio, right here on Spreaker.com. We'll see you there.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. right here on IE Sports Radio. That was a really cool interview yesterday with Mr. Mike DeLoss Sr. Once again, big shout out to him, man. Thank you very much for being on the show today. Oh, well, the show was yesterday, but today. And that's that, y'all. Believe it or not, we only have like a little bit over 6 minutes to go. And we have a few things to talk about. So let's just go ahead and breeze through them. I mean, really, it's just IMSA, Wimbledon, and World Superbike, as well as MotoGP and UFC. So I'm not going to get in depth with all of this, but I do want to say that for MotoGP and World Superbike, you'll be getting a lot more of that on Two Wheels Wednesday with Mr. Matt White. Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific Time, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. GMT over there in London time. So catch him there. We're talking about Mr. Marc Marquez just doing it again. Amazing driver, the legend he is, winning in Germany in the German Grand Prix. And then we have in World Superbike in the Great Britain World Superbike, we have here a crazy finish that I am just going to leave, of course, to Mr. Matt White. But this crazy finish, okay, would end in a really neat, okay, 3-horse race now, as they say on the World Superbike Twitter. But really cool victory here, or, really, really neat way things turned out. So, with the victory here, of course, the winner was Mr. Sabatucci, I believe is how you say his last name. Don't know his first name, but he would get the victory. So, congratulations to him. And also Marc Marquez getting it done in MotoGP, and Sabatucci getting done in World Superbike. After that, we have just a few things. IMSA, Mazda's on a rampage. That's all there is to it. You will hear more about that on the Extra Mile with Mr. Daryl Kinsey Jr., Miss Lita Camello, Miss Caitlin Seam, and Mr. Michael Ward coming up on Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. So catch about more of that, and of course, probably more NASCAR stuff. They're talking about the Coca-Cola, or the CokeZero Sugar400, and lots more. The NHRA, NewEnglandNa, to hear more about that there as well. And there you go. So, just those two things. Wimbledon, we didn't get a chance to get into Wimbledon today. We'll get into it more next week. We're, I think, in the couple of rounds. Serena and Andy Murray have teamed up. Serena Williams and Andy Murray have teamed up. Don't know how they're doing just yet. Haven't had a chance to pay attention to too much tennis, but I do know that Miss Simona Halep, my favorite player over there for the women's tennis, she has moved on to the next round, and we'll be getting lots more into that. Also, we're having a tennis show in the talks with USRN's Matt Owens and Cal Vandergrift. So it's the first time you have heard about that, but we're getting a tennis show in the talks here. So maybe we'll have a tennis show coming up on IE Sports Radio coming up pretty soon here. We shall see. And so lots more on Wimbledon next week. We'll see if we can get Mr. Josh Ritter on to talk some tennis with us, as well as maybe Mr. Matt or Cal Vandergrift. We'll see how it goes. And then UFC 239, John Jones defeats Thiago Santos. It was a decision after five rounds, so he will get the victory there. Women's and that was in a light heavyweight main event. And the co-main event we have here, well, I guess they're both main events. They're both main events. But in women's bantamweight, we had Amanda Nunes. She would actually drop Holly Holm the same exact way that Holly Holm will drop Ronda Rousey a few years ago, like 5 years ago or something like that, 5-6 years ago. But with a kick to the head, and that would be that KO, or it was a KO or TKO. I just had to Google it. But at the 4-minute and 10-second mark in the first round, so congratulations to Amanda Nunes. Don't know if there was any titles there or anything, but she would win it there. And then Jorge Masvidal will defeat Ben Askren. Apparently, this is the fastest match ever in MMA or in UFC history, with a knockout, a flying knee, and 5 seconds into the fight, there it is, a flying knee, TKO, or knockout / TKO. That is it. Jorge Masvidal will win that fight, and there you have it, y'all. So, probably, we'll see if Ringside gets more into that one with Vince Wright and Mr. Vince Wright and Mr. Gilbert Bautista. But, and once again, I'm not the biggest UFC MMA guy, but I do my best, so kind of. I guess, I don't know. But, stuff just for the end of the show there, so my apologies. But once again, y'all, that was a lot of fun. Congratulations once again to the U.S. women's soccer team getting it done, winning the Women's World Cup. Brazil winning the Copa America, and Mexico winning the Gold Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my time for today. Cue the music, because I'm out of here. With that said, y'all, that is that. That was a fun one. Awesome conversation there with Mr. Mike the Lost Senior. Come calling him Junior in the interview. But hey, if you want to play some 7-on-7 flag football, go check it out, y'all. Great stuff here in Southern California. See if there is a league near you. Check it out. Sharpen up your skills, or just out there to play and have some fun. Hey, no matter what, really cool idea. Maybe it could be a future professional league that, 7-on-7 flag, or just flag football. We shall see. I don't know if maybe there already is one or something like that. I have no idea. But anyway, y'all, that is that. That is my time for today. Make sure to catch Mr. Phil Jones. And I don't know if Mr. Phil Robinson will throw a booth in today, but catch Phil Jones talking Raider football today later on 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. or 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time on the Unfiltered Truth. That is that, y'all. I'll see y'all next week. Until then, take care. And as always, God bless.